Disclaimer: the following Boundless Pod Trap episode contains strong opinions that some listeners may and will find offensive. If you cannot accept or respect others with a differing opinion from yours, then fuck off.
Rolling sound.
I like turtles.
Shush!
Alrighty. Let me see your war face.
Now, y'all ain't planning on fucking these chickens, are you?
Picture it. Sicily, 1920.
Aren't we fucking funny?
Streaming from the Midwest, right in the middle of the U.S. From Omaha, Nebraska, you're listening to the Boundless Pod Trap, your entertainment podcast where we touch on all topics, from the crazy and absurd to the sacred and profane, and even the useless and unnecessary. The Boundless Pod Trap knows no bounds. And now, here are your hosts.
Yo. What's happening to me, bro? Hami?
What's happening?
We did it.
What's happening?
Anyhow.
An intro without any fuck-ups.
24 episodes. We got one, baby.
You know why? Because 24 is my lucky number.
There you go. There you go.
That's...
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
Write it down.
Yeah. It's in the history books now.
Kamujare?
We can't go backwards now, only forwards.
That's all we got.
Let's call Mom.
You want to just close it right now before
episode 25? We're gonna have a new intro and everything
to fuck up for 25 episodes.
24 episodes. Goodness gracious!
Crazy.
How is that possible?
We've been here 24 times.
Oh, okay.
25.
That makes sense.
26.
Yeah, technically 26. You and I, Justin, like
it's like 31.
30
I think.
for us.
31 podcasts.
We used to do like video ones, which is weird.
It is okay.
It was just you and I sitting there
looking at
a table with a camera with Michael behind it.
Yeah.
Filming us.
And it was really strange he wasn't wearing pants.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
He was filming us like one of his French girls. Why is that funny?
I don't get your reference.
No, it's not funny. Don't laugh.
I was giving you a pity laugh just to start off with. That way you felt good going in. But me explaining more of this feels like it's just going to deteriorate your confidence. So,
hey, I'm used to pity everything from people. So now we're depressed.
It's never pity with me. It's always because I want to.
It's always genuine.
It's always genuine.
Well, right on. So what's up, boys? What's happening? Welcome back.
What's up?
It feels like it's been forever.
You know, it does. It's been the slowest 2 weeks, it seemed like.
I have to disagree with you guys.
Fuck you then.
I feel like it's just like life in general anymore. Everything's just so quick.
You feel like it?
I feel like we literally were just here. And
like you can't get rid of us?
I don't mean it like that.
I feel like that's how you mean it.
It's like
I'm going to take it that way.
So I plan my weeks. I have 1 week I do this, the next week I do that, and I do the same thing all the time. I don't change anything up. It's always I have this week on this night, that week on the following week, the other. It's just, and I think by doing that, it just makes life go by quick. And I know they say when you get older, life goes by fast, but yeah, it seems like it's flying by a lot faster than it should be.
You know whose week isn't going by fast? These people. I got 5 people whose life is not going by quick. American revolutionary Paul Revere, American General Stonewall Jackson, American poet Shel Silverstein, American actress Joan Crawford, and American serial killer John Wayne Gacy. They all died on this day.
Really?
So their day's not going any quicker.
Like the day that we're recording or the day that this is released?
The day this comes out. Like literally today. It was a shitty day for them. Yeah, they all died May 10th.
Oh,
wow.
Oh,
so, and a whole bunch of other people I've never fucking heard of.
Most of those people were just misunderstood.
No, I'm pretty sure John Wayne Gacy was a prick.
He was the hockey player.
Little bit, yeah.
He was a hockey player. I used to have all of this stuff.
Shel Silverstein, though, like his writing, like, was fan-fucking-tastic way before its time.
Did you say Michelle?
Shell. Yeah, where the sidewalk ends.
Okay, yeah. She was in Clueless.
It's a dude.
Oh.
Yeah, big bald.
She
dude.
changed.
A big bald dude.
He
with
changed.
A beard.
He changed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for misgendering.
Yeah.
You can be whatever you want to be.
Now we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Well,
and George Washington's brother from the North, George Vancouver, died today too.
I'm sorry. You know,
That was a joke.
By
the way,
if we had made money off of this and we could just like record podcasts, in addition to this one and our movie one, I would love us to do a serial killer podcast where we talk for like an hour
and then
or
go
so
kill somebody.
Talk about what we did to them and
get
where
tips.
we hid their body. Yeah. What kind of duct tape to use is best.
That's how what I do when I go and purchase vehicles. I'm like, hey, how big is that? Lay in the trunk. See?
You would.
No. Just make sure I don't lock me in. I'm an average size guy.
Thing is, this day and age, people are so used to like hidden camera shows and people being sarcastic pricks that they probably wouldn't even think anything of it.
You can do that, or actually fake it though. So you can just like kick somebody in the face and then like point to nowhere, like you're on.
You just got kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think this world is getting too close to idiocracy to kick people in the nuts.
We have entertainers as presidents, and good shit.
Guess what I'm doing on June 11th, boys?
Masturbating.
Well, that's a given. Guess what else I'm doing on June 11th?
June 11th. What's June 11th?
I mean, it's not anything. Like, it's not like a holiday or anything like that.
You're going to Tucson, Arizona.
Close.
Going to Vegas, aren't you?
Close.
Damn, I got nothing then.
I am going to
Area 51
to take the all-day class to get my conceal and carry permit.
Attaboy. Who are you doing it through? Tactical 88?
Honestly, I don't know because my brother-in-law is the one. He signed him and my sister up. He has one. He just has to renew it.
Yeah.
But he wants to get my sister trained on a gun, and he knows that I have said that I've been interested in it. And so he asked me if I wanted to, and I said, well, yeah. He said he will pay for it. So it's like I can't say no to it.
Absolutely not.
I just think that, this day and age, it's good to have something like that. I would definitely use it responsibly. I look at some of the jobs I do, like when I do security for a haunted house here in town. I'm the one that's up by the ticket booth where all the money is. So if anything's going down, it's probably going to go down up there. Not that I would be trigger happy or anything like that, but if the scenario called for it, I would feel a little bit safer. Plus, a couple of years ago when somebody was breaking into my house in the middle of the night when I was there.
You were screaming?
That I had a flashlight. So it'd be nice to...
eat it.
That's the one.
We got that on tape that night.
But yeah, so it'd just be kind of interesting to have that. And I mean, I'm not saying that this is why I'm doing it, but I think you would have a different strut to your walk.
Absolutely.
Knowing that you have a gun strapped to you.
Yeah, because it's heavy.
Shut the fuck up. So.
I definitely give you a sense of bravado, knowing you're safe, knowing your family's safe. Yeah, there's definitely pros and cons behind the gun.
Oh, for sure.
I think the number of shootings goes up massively when there's two guns involved, opposed to there being one gun involved. But I see the benefit behind it. Like your brother-in-law being a military man, I don't think would steer you in the wrong direction.
No.
Because there's that massive respect for guns.
I look at it kind of like the Karate Kid. When Mr. Miyagi teaches Danielson karate, it's for defense only.
Absolutely.
He's not teaching you to go out and just beat people up. To me, it would be kind of the same thing with the gun. It's just like, that's for the ultimate scenarios.
Absolutely. The last case.
I'm not going to, if somebody's verbally arguing with me, I'm not going to be like, listen here, mother. And no, I wouldn't do that. It would take a lot for me to have to pull the gun out. Westroads, for instance, when that shooter was going on there a couple weeks ago.
It's not the time.
It's just, to have it in instances like that. And my brother-in-law brought up a point, there was a church shooting, I forget how many years ago, but there were two guys there that had the conceal and carry.
Yeah.
And they took the gunman out. And if they wouldn't, I mean...
How many other people could have lost their lives? Yeah.
I think that was the one where the guy came in with a shotgun and didn't really hit anybody.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Huh. But... And that's the thing, I could not live with killing somebody. I mean, if I saw a guy shooting people and he's actually killing people and he's on a spree or whatever, then I'd probably aim for the head. But
yeah, that's
it's just
story then.
It's hard to say because it's every instance is different, but it's if I had to shoot, I'd probably shoot to just injure,
right,
not kill.
Well, and that's a mentality that not a lot of people have, because guns are generally one of those things it's not intended to injure. Like when you pull the trigger, what you're pointing at should die.
Yeah.
Like that's something they automatically teach you in any type of military, in any type of armed security, in any type of police, sheriff. When you point the barrel of a gun at something, it is to end its life. That was always my thing with guns, from being in a military family that didn't really hunt with guns. I mean, obviously we hunt with bows, but with guns, we never did it. So guns were always one of those things that if you intend to point a gun at something, you have to make sure you're right with Jesus, because that thing could have a gun as well.
Yeah.
And two, if you point a gun at something, you better be content with it being dead.
Well, and luckily enough, I haven't had any instances in my life where I've had like interactions with guns and people. Like I said, the closest thing was that person trying to break in my house. Now,
right,
looking back on it, the person was under the influence, and I think they thought they were at their friend's house, and that they
don't give them an excuse.
He didn't make it.
He died?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
They found his body was found in the park across the street from my house the following morning, because he went back to the party where he was at, and his friends apparently shot him and then ditched the body.
Huh.
So, because yeah,
that's good friends.
Because I remember I was so paranoid the next day, and then there was this news about like they found a dead body in that park, and I'm like, oh my God. I said the guy killed somebody, and then he was coming to try to break in the house to either kill me or hide or something like that. But then investigators called, and there's like, you don't have to worry about it, that it's not released yet, but he was the deceased body that they found. I'm like,
huh. Oh. So you could have saved his life.
You know, I honestly, I think about that because, and it bugs me, and people have told me it should not bug you that you did that. But like when the police came and they had him in custody, and just the way they're talking, it was basically, you know, he is under the influence of stuff. And I just said, well, you know what? I don't think it wasn't trying to harm in any way. So I'm not going to press any charges. Well, then that happened. It's like, but I was under the impression that they were going to take him to his home, but they didn't. They just let him go back to his friend's house. But I think, man, if I would have pressed charges, he would have been taken to jail for the night, and he would have probably been safe. But what if, woulda, coulda, shoulda type of things, you can't do that to yourself.
Don't shoot all over yourself. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not, the gun policies, I'm not up to date with the codes, I guess, especially with the state and how they're trying to change a lot of stuff or implement better rules, if you will. Like there's talk about like, you know, teachers need to have guns, and it's like, not everybody is capable of holding something. No. There's one thing, it's like you can be proficient with the weapon, but you're not proficient in the situation. Right. It's like, yeah, you can go to a range, but that does not give the same stressors or adrenaline, the rush, or not to fascinate, I guess. It's not, what's the word, dramatize it. It's not the same thing.
It's not.
They're two different things.
Because you don't have, like you said, the pressure on you like of a gunman or something or whatever. You're just standing in a shooting range, shooting at a piece of paper.
Right.
Yeah, and the differences between a person and a target is you get 2 seconds to react, not whenever you're comfortable.
Some of those gun people do annoy me. Like there's one person I see daily who on his front door has a gun target, a little silhouette target with his shot grouping. Like, why do you put that on your front door? You know, like, I know you're trying to use it as a deterrent, but
see, I'm not going to be that type of person that's like pro guns and stuff. I am doing this for my safety, family safety. You know, if I had kids of my own that were living with me that were little, I might second guess doing that just because, and yeah, you put it in a safe and whatnot, but I mean, safes aren't like foolproof. Like if you have a smart kid, they can figure out how to open it. And I mean, God, that would just,
they got some pretty good,
if like if my kid got in the safe and whatever happened. But
you got to think it's a double-edged sword too. If you're buying a gun for safety and you're keeping it in a gun safe,
not a sword.
Oh, sorry. If you buy a gun for self-preservation and you keep it in a safe, it's not like someone breaks into your house and you only have so long to react. Are you gonna run to the safe, put in the code, I agree that there are some guns that shouldn't be on the market.
Yeah,
You don't need an AR-15.
No.
You just don't. But buying a handgun to protect yourself, absolutely. That is your right. Buying a shotgun to hunt with, absolutely. That is your right. But buying an AR-15 because you have a small dick, that's not your right. Like buying an M1 Grand because your grandpa had one in the war. No,
I'm going to get a musket.
It's a relic.
Yeah, fucking
Hang on.
that ball. You better not go the fuck away. Let me get my powder. Hun, where's my powder?
Well, I know, like, I believe, and I could be wrong with this, but I think my brother-in-law has a safe where it's his thumbprint, so you don't have to.
That's something.
Like those voice-activated ones. I like those little shelves that are right above your bed, and you can just, like, hit the shelf and a fucking shock falls in.
John Wick the shit out of that. You start getting hot and heavy in bed, and you're like, yeah, take it, bitch, and the fucking gun falls on her.
I'm more of a blade guy myself.
Yeah.
If you notice, well, I don't know if you have noticed, but this is probably stupid putting it out on air. I might cut this out, but in almost every single room of my house, there is a blade somewhere hidden. So
you're like Dwight from The Office.
Oh no, I've got 2 knives within arm's reach of my bed.
Well, I have one of those butterfly knives, but it's just like, I mean, I can't exactly. Right. I always take advice when I have that. I always think to myself, what did John Travolta teach? Well, technically it was Nicolas Cage as John Travolta. He taught his daughter when he gave her the butterfly knife, you stab it and then you twist it so the wound won't close. Thanks, John Travolta.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
Just depends on what you're stabbing.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie so much.
Oh, it's so unrealistic.
It's so bad,
but it's
great.
I believe it, and it's great.
Nice.
One of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies.
Well, so I was rushing here, trying to make it.
You're not. You're Italian.
I'm an Italian here. I was hurrying really fast to get here. I got off work, and then I had to go pick up some underage girls, and then I had to hurry up over here. So,
God, he's talking about his daughters, listeners. Stop it.
They can't drive. They're underage. They can't drive.
Yeah,
they don't have the.
The one's almost getting there, isn't she?
She's 5.
She's only got like 11 years to go.
Yeah.
Although by the time it'll probably be like the age to drive will be 12 by the time.
You can get a permit at 10 o'clock. 10-year-old permit. Actually, that's when I first started driving. That was when I was with my foster family. I used to have to drive them from bar to bar.
That's when you were doing a lot of things.
I'll give their names.
Yeah, fucking this guy over here.
I was 12. I was 11 going on 12.
Don't call him 12-inch Justin for nothing. Eat it.
That's
So,
one more time.
Speaking of, I want to start this off with a few.
Speaking of eating it?
Yeah. Speaking of eating.
Eat it.
We had some listener questions I wanted to read off here.
Really?
Yeah.
All
This
right.
is bullshit. You're full of it. His eyes give it away. He made
Your mouth gives it away that you're full of bullshit.
This is listener submitted stuff here.
I'll find out in 2 seconds. Let me text my sister.
There's other people. The first one here, it says, I love your guys' podcast. Hey,
that's not real.
Is there any chance of future giveaways?
Sure. Actually, a great giveaway option you can do. If you go to Zazzle.com, where
that's
we
not
have...
a giveaway. That's
Let me finish. You go to Zazzle.com, look at all of our amazing merchandise we got. We got water bottles. We got stickers, T-shirts, all that fun shit.
Shirts, cups, keychains, magnets, bumper stickers, regular stickers.
So much merch.
We're also waiting approval on the penis cast. We do have a friend who's trying those out to give their reviews, but once he's done with our penis casts, he'll let us know.
Yeah.
But keep going.
That was weird. But anyway, all this merch. Free giveaway, though. If you buy 2 of any item, you can give 1 away for free.
This is true.
It is true.
And we're also going to start selling the underwear. It's going to be Bounties, Boundless Undies. And if you aren't 100% satisfied, if you take a picture of yourself in them, send them back for free. We'll do something with them.
And all the proceeds go to a very good charity.
The Taco Bell Fund?
Whatever you think is a good charity, it's going there.
No, but seriously, if this is a real question, I mean, we could do tons of we're not anything special, but if you want to go to dinner or lunch with us, we're more than welcome to
That's desperate.
take you to Taco Bell.
I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade here, but we need to get more engagement with people before we do stuff like that.
Well, we got these questions here, so
I don't believe they're
all
real.
these
That's
people.
fucked up.
I don't believe they're real.
That's fucked up. Anyway, so here's the next question. Speaking of the boundless undies, they are boundless, so that means there's no waistband to it.
They're one size.
So they'll just fall right off.
One size fits
We're working
most.
on something.
That's how we like it.
Yeah. Next question. Are any of you guys mechanically inclined? If so, I had a question. I got this cool black hatchback, and I wanted to know what's the quickest way to get blood out of the trunk upholstery. Also, would spraying bleach on the stains compromise any chance of being incriminated hypothetically?
Well, if it's a black hatchback, and this I know from experience, because I do as well have a black hatchback. If you use bleach to get the stains out, it will bleach the interior.
It'll Monica Lewinsky it.
So the best thing to do with the interior is the blood won't show up very well. So what you need to do is mix 1/3 to 1 ratio between water and OxyClean. That will tone down the color of the blood. And
Billy
then,
Mays here.
and it will tone it down enough. So all you will see is the interior. You won't see the blood. Now it won't get it out. If someone wants to get into it and do a DNA test, it will still be there and you'll still be fucked. But as for the visual test, it will pass.
I think the best thing to do, torch it.
Let me write this down.
Are you kidding?
Torch it.
We
So
all can't
start
afford.
new.
We all can't afford new Ford Focuses every week, bud.
I didn't get a Ford Focus.
I know you got like a big car.
I got a.
You went from the smallest car on the market to
Got
a
a
big
mom
car.
van.
I don't have a mom van.
Close. All right.
It's for my future family.
Next fictitious
Hold
question.
on. Let me write these down. What was the
All
measurement?
this was for that. All
was the
this was
measurement?
for this. This is his
1/3?
punchline right here.
All right. Next question. I want to get my kid into swimming lessons. I'm trying to increase their lung capacity. Would you recommend holding them underwater at bath time? I feel like it will activate their stress levels equivalent to competing in a race. I feel like my position is logically sound. Could you please explain to my wife why this is a good idea? Great show, guys.
It's funny because one of my fun facts for my topic has to do with holding kids underwater.
So all right, go ahead and answer this.
Well,
How is he right about this one?
well, is this for?
Just answer the listener's question. Yeah.
I was going to say your kids' names, but I don't know. I should say them on airs. But if
Not
they're
for my kids.
if they're
rude.
older than 6 months, it's probably not a good idea to hold them underwater.
So if they're under 6 months,
Yeah, you can hold them under for as long as you want.
because they're natural born swimmers, right? Okay,
They come out of the pipe swimming.
good answer. Good answer there. I think you'll satisfy his wife.
Oh,
All right, last question. Say you are developing strong feelings for one of the two guys you host with. You think one of them knows? What should I do? What would you do? Who wants to answer that one?
I'd go for it.
Yeah.
Go for
Actually,
it.
I would.
Hold on, let me wait.
Eat it
Okay.
Gets funnier. Why?
every time.
Do you think that's smart if he just goes for it?
Who just put their Justin? Is that your foot in my crotch right now?
Oops. Sorry.
Just go for. I'd go for it on air. That's the only way to get more viewers.
Okay. Here it goes. This isn't me by no means. I'm just saying. I mean, these are listener submitted questions. We're just trying to please the fans here. So,
No.
and what makes you think it's you?
Yeah, geez,
I mean,
Mr. Fucking Humble over here.
we don't even know who.
You should feel how far his toes are up my anus right now.
The anus.
I had something and now it slipped my mind.
Oh, come back. Oh, please come back.
This fucking guy over here.
I know it'll come to me eventually.
That's my line. You can't use my line.
Oh, I know what it was. Lonnie, I'm going to ask you a question here.
Sure.
I want your honest opinion answer.
7 inches hard.
Okay. Do you think it's weird / okay if a friend of mine asked me to take his wife out on a date and she wanted to go on a date with me?
You just have to take her out to dinner, shake her hand, say goodbye, go home, jerk off. then you're done.
Okay.
Take her out dancing.
Because Justin asked me to take his wife out on a date.
She wanted to go out. And I was like, I got to edit, bitch. Minus the edit part.
Minus the bitch part. Your wife's scary.
Am I...
I've been getting that a lot lately.
Am I able to, like...
A lot of people are like, your wife is scary. She's frightening. I'm like, what? I'm not seeing it.
Your wife is so nice.
Am I allowed
your wife's so cool.
To
are you asking me?
Steal third when I take her out?
What are you talking about?
Are you asking me permission? So
do you think
you can cuck Justin's wife?
Do you think Justin Milani looks like a bitch?
Then why are you treating him like one? I would love to make a parody of Justin as Marcellus Wallace.
Just the one scene?
And you, John Travolta. Fuck, I'll even play Mia Wallace to do this. We'll fucking dance at Jackrabbit Slims, do the twist.
She wants to go play pinball at Beer Cave.
Like, is this real life right now? Are you?
This is, yeah.
Yeah.
This. I'm really uncomfortable.
I was kind of wondering about how you were feeling, like when you, because didn't you question it when I texted you it?
Well, yeah, because it's you. I'm like, okay,
are you serious?
Like, I thought like you were gonna like, I thought you two were going, and you were just gonna see if I wanted to tag along, but you were gonna make it seem like, yeah, you and Crystal can go out on a date, take my wife out and stuff, and then as the conversation's going on, I'm like, he's fucking serious because they didn't.
So Justin asked you to take Crystal out to play pinball because Crystal wants to play pinball with you.
She just wants to play pinball. That was the thing.
And I'm like, he couldn't leave because
we didn't have a sitter or anything.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I could have just asked Jeremy to sit and edit.
Well, okay. So it's not like she requested Jeremy.
She was looking into some of her other friends. One of them was out of town. The other one, I guess they had other priorities. And then she asked me, she's like, would it be weird if I asked Jeremy? And I'm like,
so just like all other women, Jeremy wasn't the first choice.
Why do you got to put it like that? Are you trying to tear him down early? We're not even 30 minutes in.
We are 30 minutes and 24 seconds.
Now we are.
I don't think it's weird at all because I would consider she is in one of the friends in the friend group. I would be terrified because I don't know if you've ever seen Justin do his fight dancing.
It's capoeira.
No, I was just kidding. I just wanted to bring that up.
Absolutely.
Then he was trying to guilt trip me by sending like videos of her like all sad and depressed. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Just getting you a healthy realization about how she's gonna feel. Just like
you saying that she's gonna have a disappointing night.
Yeah,
the whole night.
Oh, probably because she wants to go to.
She's gonna be like, never ask Jeremy to go with me again.
He
just bitched the entire time. It's like
he was crying in the corner. Every girl we passed.
Me and another mutual friend of me and Jeremy's, we were all going to go out, and Jeremy didn't want to go into a place with me and another mutual friend. So Jeremy decided to go to Beercade, which is arcade/bar. So he went in there, and we went down about a block to another bar. And we spent our time in there when we turned around to go in. And Jeremy's sitting in the corner by himself in the bar, just kind of doing anything. The bartender is absolutely gorgeous. She's a friend of mine.
He reminds me of like the type who would probably just write up little stories on napkins in a bar.
I was sitting at the biggest booth possible.
Yeah, it could have held 30 people.
Kicking your feet, not touching the floor.
But yeah, my friend Anna was the bartender. And of course I go straight in and say hi to her. And then I went to Jeremy and he's like, hi guys. Just like out of his norm. Like, how do you feel out of your norm in a room full of video games? Like, that's heaven.
I never was a huge video game person.
Why would you choose to go there?
Because it was the only other place. It was either that or a porn shop to wait for you guys. And I think
why didn't you go there?
There's a time limit because you guys were going to be like an hour or two.
Yeah.
Because the thing you were going to, and I didn't want to go there because there was other people there I didn't want to see at the time.
That's fair.
So I went there and I just sat in the corner.
Just go to the porn shop because they will take care of you. Like if you go and ask about some of the products, they're like, this one kind of zaps you. But try this one on your nipples. And you're like, ah.
But 2 hours in a place like that.
Eat it.
You really need to consider a career as an anime porn voiceover person. Do it right now. Try to.
Eat it.
How do you do that? No.
That's my,
that was, I remember
my lips
that.
and my voice.
Because I remember, like, I took that, sent you guys that picture from Polar Express of that creepy kid, like, looking out the window. I'm like, this is me right now.
Didn't we leave and go to another beercade?
Yeah, there's another one, which I thought was a lot better than the one in
absolutely.
Benson.
Yeah. I hate Benson. Like, and here's how
that's my stomping grounds, yo.
Here's how the progression of
People that
Omaha
live in Benson hate Benson.
The progression of how Omaha is going. So the major areas in Omaha, the old market used to be the best. Now the old market is shitty.
Then they got rid of the slides.
No, the slides are still there. The slides are the only thing left.
It's been a while.
But they ripped out all that other area. So it used to be the old market was the best place to go to. And then Benson came. Now Benson's the best place to go to. And then Blackstone came. And Blackstone's the best place to go to. And now they're redoing 13th Street in the old market. Now it's the place to go to. And then now Dundee's coming in and it's the best place to go to. Like, it's a constant cycle of trying to one up each other. Like,
that's just marketing.
And they're just pushing the hipsters from one side of town to the next and the next. It's so fucking annoying.
Nobody wants to get rid of everybody's trying to get rid of the hipsters, but nobody wants to take them.
Yeah, nobody wants to take them. Yeah. So they're just like, fuck, get rid of them.
I like this place before it was cool.
I think Council Bluffs should be the place where they come. And
No, you guys keep them.
Make an island.
Why don't they just make Carter Lake where all the hipsters go?
That's because that's where everybody retires at.
No, it's not. It's where all the meth heads go because they can't
all
afford
of them.
Yeah, it's a good number of them.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
That's what you know. What Carter Lake has? It has dumps, the airport, and meth heads.
Dead bodies in the bottom of the lake.
Yeah.
Probably. To end a long story, this Saturday I'm supposed to be taking Justin's wife out.
Oh yeah, you guys are still doing that?
I don't know. If I don't hear from her, I guess not.
Well, I'll have her turn you down at the last minute.
Well, I work all day, so if she does, I'll probably be tired anyway. So.
Cool.
Well, I hope you have a good time, and I hope her husband doesn't find out.
Do I need to shave my balls? She's going to kill me if she listens to this. Oh. So who's up first tonight? No, he's on second.
That's not funny.
I'll go ahead and get mine out of the way. Since mine's kind of shorter. So before I start this, I know a lot of things I say.
That's what our products says.
Are offensive, and I know that's part of the joy of this podcast is we can say offensive things that piss off a lot of people. But this is kind of one of those gold star warnings where I want to say there is nothing funny, and there's nothing that should be taken from making fun of people with mental illness. Everything I'm about to say is satirical. It's all joking wise. These are just some mental illnesses that I found that are humorous to me. People who have these are struggling in real life. No mental illness should be taken as a joke or taken any less seriously than any of them. If you know anyone who has a mental illness, just respect the struggle they are going through. All right? Well, now I'm going to click back into podcaster mode here after that PSA.
And shit all over them.
Shit all over them. All right. So with that said, these are the top 5 most fucking mental illnesses of all time.
Was that a slip when you said metal?
Metal.
They are mental. Is that
mental illnesses?
Okay. I didn't know if you meant to say mental, but you said metal. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
mental illnesses.
Make fun of the mental. That's fucked up.
And if anybody wants to come at me for doing this list, I have fucking manic OCD, severe anxiety, depression.
He will fight you as soon as he's done checking if the doors are locked.
I will make sure my shoes are tied 3 times, and I will fucking take you out. I have the right to make fun of...
How is he dodging all of my moves?
I have the right to talk about mental illnesses, motherfucker.
You got the right.
I earned this. But anyway, top 5. I'm going to start with 5 and go up. First one is Stenholt Syndrome. What Stenholt Syndrome is you suffer from severe anxiety from being around large amounts of art.
Really?
Like going into an art museum or a place that's having an art show, you just freak the fuck out. You can't handle it. as well as going to something that would be traditionally seen as beautiful. Like you go into a Zen garden, or you go see a waterfall, or you go see something where traditionally beautiful, or you go to a fashion show with a bunch of beautiful models or something like that.
How is
it
that?
Makes you freak out.
Anything can be identified as like art.
Yeah, it's completely subjective.
So is it just like something that is like just not as contorted to the environment? There's like different things that just don't match,
and it's different for different people, but it's just it classified as art or classified as beautiful. It's different from patient to patient.
Like part of me that sounds mean, but part of me like wants to call certain things like bullshit,
right?
But it's an actual thing.
It's a
and I believe that
diagnosed mental illness.
So somebody who suffers from that wouldn't have issues if they went to a strip club here in Council Bluffs.
Yeah.
This isn't artistic as fuck.
It's not beautiful.
If they went to lipsticks, they would not have trouble. It would be
the Playhouse.
They would not be scared of the appendix scars and the
knife wounds. Oh, shit.
Oh man,
it would be.
They don't work there anymore.
Oh, we lost some listeners.
All right,
that work at lipstick.
I miss dipsticks.
I used to go there all the time.
Now it's just the pool hall, which I think is a much better name for a male strip club. The
it's
pool
not
hall.
what it's called.
They went from Q sticks to Q sticks.
Yeah. Number 4, fictitious disorder. From that name, do you guys have any idea what fictitious disorder is?
It's like they think everything is fake.
Any guesses?
I was going to say the same thing he did.
Fictitious disorder is being obsessed with being sick. Not like hypochondria, where you think you're going to be sick with everything. Fictitious disorder is...
It's like...
where, like, you love being sick. Like, you love the attention you get from
like
being
Munchausen.
sick.
I was going to say, isn't this
It's
something
like-
that you kind of talked about
It's like
once before?
Munchausen, but it's yourself. Like, with Munchausen, it's
your
you
kids.
by proxy, yeah.
Well, no, there's Munchausen by proxy and Munchausen by self. There's
Yeah.
2 different types, and one is like more attention based, and the other one is a legitimate like fear of like hospitals and etc.
Yeah.
So these people like being sick.
They
It gives
love-
them worth.
Yeah,
It gives them worth.
It gives them self-worth, and they just love the feeling of being sick. They will go out of their way to get sick. Like, they won't wear layers in the winter. They will purposely eat foods that make them sick. They will eat undercooked foods. They will just do things to make them sick because it's an obsession.
Inject their intravenous line with fecal matter.
Yeah.
UEs.
They'll give themselves pink eye.
That's not sanitary.
Yeah. So,
Interesting.
Fictitious disorder.
I don't know why you would like to be sick.
It's the pity. You get the attention, you get the pity. It gives you worth that like somebody is actually caring for me. Like it's kind of like I forget exactly what it's called, but you need to feel like a patient, even though you're the one who is doctoring yourself to feel that way.
I was going to say the only time I ever enjoyed being sick was like when you work really, really hard and it's just like it's constant. And then you feel like you're coming down with like your body aches and shivers, and it's like, oh, I can have a day off.
You
and
just
I can,
ran yourself ragged.
I can rest, but I mean, it's not that I enjoy how you feel, but it's like I enjoy the idea of like, oh, I can have a day off from work and just rest.
In most of these, and generally all 5 of these, are all kind of based off schizophrenia. They're all going to be mentally based.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
For some.
Yeah. Number 3 is capgrass delusions.
Catgrass?
Capgrass.
Okay.
What capgrass delusion is, people...
Did he say it different every time?
I think so.
Capgrass.
Cap-ass.
Grab ass.
CAPGRAS.
With booty ass.
Capgrass.
Grab ass.
Delusion.
We're going to go with...
That's a people thinking that people or places or things have been switched out by an exact double.
I've done that before.
Like,
somebody broke into my house and replaced everything with exact replicas.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like, for example, like we only get to really see each other once every week. So it'd be like coming together and being like, you're not you. You're an exact copy of you.
So you need to know a code word before we continue?
Or like you go out to start your car and you're like, this isn't my car. Like, whose car is this? But it's your car, but it's an exact copy of your car.
If somebody having that, I could see how you could go crazy super quick.
Yeah, in like stories, they're written about changelings. And so it's like an actual diagnosis of thinking changelings. Changelings are fairies that go in and make an exact copy.
I feel like, I mean, if you had a positive mentality about that, you're like, oh, this is different.
Right.
It's like, what? It's the same thing.
But it's not. It's a terrible disease. Like people, like I said, it's on the schizophrenia level of your brain just can't handle the fact that, like, Jeremy, you are not Jeremy. You are someone who looks like Jeremy
If I had a
and
nickel.
sounds like Jeremy, but you're not Jeremy. It's just that weird brain can't process that you're
Wrong
a human
person.
being, but you're the wrong version of you.
Wrong person, wrong time.
Right. Number 2, I got to look up.
You got to go number 2 already?
I can smell it. While you're doing that, it's kind of weird that you brought this up because you know how on YouTube it gives you suggested videos based off of things you watched?
Yeah.
But sometimes the things that they suggest, it's like, how the fuck did you get that from what I've been watching?
Right.
It's like actual footage from the 70s at like a mental hospital where like a doctor sits down and they talk with somebody that suffers from schizophrenia.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And it's like
shorter haired guy sitting in a
yeah,
chair.
and he's got really shiny skin.
It's
the guy.
like, yeah, like the psycho. It's schizophrenia, delusional.
Yeah, and it's crazy because then it was like showing other videos, and it's crazy how similar they are. Like they ask them a question, and it's just like they have the longest pause, and it's like they're listening to somebody before they answer, and they're very interesting. Like I'm glad those are suggested, and I watch it because it is kind of interesting to watch. And then there was one of this lady. I mean, the lady one, man, she just seemed so sweet. You just wanted to hug her because they know there's something wrong with them.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting that you brought this up for your topic, and those were just
reminds me of that TV show Sense8, where you had like 8 different people who you kind of share. They can kind of inhabit your body in certain times. Like I am a pianist who needs to get into this door, but one of my personalities is a criminal who knows how to break a lock. And so they kind of share each other's body.
Right. Like
it's confusing.
Like the show Quantum Leap back in the day.
Oh.
If you think about that show from like a deeper level, like that show was definitely about DPD, which is dissociative personality disorder. That show had nothing to do with what it actually was. Like he wasn't from the future. He wasn't going back trying to save people. He just had extreme personality disorder. That whole show was him just imagining he was somebody else.
What was it? Was it Iggy? Was that the name of the little thing that he had?
The little device?
Yeah. That was a good show.
Yeah.
Did you I always kind of group those. I mean, they're totally different shows, but Sliders or Quantum Leap?
Quantum Leap for me.
Or Time Tracks.
Never seen Time Tracks.
100% Quantum Leap. Okay, so number 2, I gotta hit this, the pronunciation of it.
Sound it out. Use your words.
Podemnophilia.
How'd you do that with your voice?
So podemnophilia. Podemnophilia is the urge to want to amputate parts of your body. Like you just randomly, I don't want these fingers anymore, and you cut your fingers off. I don't want this leg. I cut my leg off.
That could
like
be
it's a mental illness that strikes in your brain that you just don't want to have all your limbs.
That could be a very quick mental illness. You only have so many limbs.
Exactly. And it's on the more rare side, but it does exist.
I think I suffer from a bit of that because I am constantly cutting things off. See how smooth I am?
Fingernails?
And hair.
I get it.
But yeah, one of those things that it's so fucking metal that your body can go, you don't need limbs, cut them off. I mean, it'd suck to have it, but from an outside perspective,
I feel like anything you come up with is a disorder.
It is these days too.
Right.
I like to
some of the disorders seem
up my nose.
Very questionable. If you can combine 2 disorders, what would you want?
Super disorder.
I'd have to think on that.
For the life of me, and I can't remember what it was called. I was going through movies the other night, and I found this movie, and it was about this girl who would eat things.
Everybody eats things.
Yeah. Eat it.
Did you set that up on purpose?
No.
Okay.
But it was perfect. No, but she would eat it started small, and she ate like a marble. And then by the end of it, she was eating like tacks and pieces of glass and razors. it was set up to be a disturbing film. It really wasn't, because I've seen way too much disturbing shit in my day for it to be a disturbing film.
I'm always reminded of that one chick who like carries an industrial toilet paper with her and just like eats toilet paper all day. Like, ugh. Clean.
Crystal's still doing that?
That's how she stays so fit.
What's that? It's not a disorder. Well, I guess it could be. You know that, like, I think he's like an Asian guy that can eat glass, and
anybody can eat glass if you're brave enough.
But he eats it like
everybody eats it
like
once.
popcorn.
It's just rock candy,
sugar glass.
Yeah, that's all it is. He's a fake. He's a fraud.
Could be,
but he might not be. So I don't.
All right, boys, you ready for the number one most mental illness of all time?
Let's hear it.
Is it something we know?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Number one, it's called Cotard's Delusion.
Cotards? You can't say that.
Cotard's Delusion.
That's that. No. We'll edit that out.
What it is
Mentally.
is you think you're dead, or you think your insides are rotting out.
Isn't that a Ramones song?
Cotard's
Delusion. Yeah. So basically, the people who have this disease think they are either dead or that their insides are rotting away, and they're just content with it. And those people will generally either starve to death or they will just die of
famine.
Not even famine, but just like lack of anything. A lot of them will be put in mental institutions and have to be intravenously fed through IVs or tubes. A lot of the stories I watched on it where people will they'll be like, well, I'm dead, so I'm just going to lay here until, everything goes away. And they'll literally lay there and starve to death.
Do you feel it's probably a disorder, and I feel like all of us have it because we consume so much negative news just for this podcast. We're injuring our minds with all this, like, man, this is fucked up watching this. Why am I doing this? And we present it on it.
Hey, it's a possibility.
What is that called? Find that.
Humanism.
Oh, yeah. So you think you're dead or undead or just not necessarily...
Like you literally think you're dead. Like you are not living anymore. Your heart's not beating.
It's not the emo, like...
No, not
I don't matter.
No, it's like literally you think you are dead.
Huh.
If I knew somebody that suffered from that, I would just act like they're invisible.
Emo?
Make them think that. No.
No.
Cotards.
I do that with emo. It doesn't exist.
Don't
talk to him. He thinks he's people.
You're not only dead inside, you're dead outside.
It'd be interesting to find somebody that suffers from any of those, really, and interview them.
Right, yeah. It's just, and looking at this, I went through so many mental disabilities because I had this idea and I wanted to do this because being on my own mental illness journey, one of the things that helps me get through it is I read other people's journeys, because that's been my hardest thing, is thinking I'm isolated and I'm alone. Like that's what gets me. But in all actuality, like I'm not a unique snowflake. Like there's tons of other people who've been through my own shit, and I have to realize that. But then I find lists upon lists upon lists upon lists of other crazy shit going on. And I was just like, that's fucked up. Wow, that's really fucked up. Like there was one called Allison Wonderland Syndrome.
That sounds like an amazing one.
Like I think there's only been 4 or 5 reported cases, but people get so lost in the elements they're around, they just don't know what's going on. And they feel like they're lost, and they just start communicating with anything, thinking it's alive. So
many logic breaks, and you're like, whoa, what is this now?
Right.
It's I always thought vertigo would be an awesome disorder to have until I actually would have it.
Yeah.
It's maybe I'd probably second guess it. Some people I do know who do have it, they have mild cases of it.
Yeah.
And it's they have to sit down to just do some stuff. It's that's in comparison to some of these feeling worthless type of thing, that'll be a manageable disorder.
Right.
Unless you're driving.
Another weird coincidence with this list is a suggested thing on my YouTube was top 10 scariest underwater animatronics. There is a fear that people have out there of underwater animatronics, and it's called submechanophobia, which is, I was going to say it's weird because there's you think of it, there's probably a phobia to it, but there's people actually out there that freak out over underwater animatronics. So like the shark and Jaws. And this is a video I think you would like, Lonnie. You should look it up because they actually have like top 10 lists and they show these animatronics. Some of them are freaky as shit. And like after watching the video, I'm like, part of me might have that submechanophobia or whatever it's called because it's just like, especially one, the camera just like, it's this like dragon looking thing that's underwater and it's in the murky water. And the camera just comes up on it, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like I just got the shivers. It's like, can you imagine? Like, hey, most of these are at like amusement parks, so the chances of you swimming in this, but it's like I think of the people that have to do maintenance on those things. And it's like you have to dive underwater, and it's like they have to do it first thing in the morning, so it is kind of dark, and they just have her flashlights. And it's like
probably murky before you actually get it, and then it reveals. Like, every single time.
I know. My butthole is puckering right now thinking about it. So.
Well, and there's so many of them that were like region specific. Like there's a Francophobia where it's like people who go to France get scared. Like that's so specific. I'm sure 3 people in the history have ever got scared of France, and it's a phobia. Or, like, there's a bunch of weird things, but these 5 I found, like, they're so off the wall, and they had so many ongoing cases. Like, numerous amounts of people were diagnosed with these cases. I was like, well, apparently they're real things. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I think certain, like, phobia, today's climate, they vilify you if you have like a certain phobia. Like I'll address my homophobia. I guess I'm homophobic because you don't like, every time I've had I guess
say, you're never homophobic when Jeremy's sucking your dick.
That's different. But like every time I've had a penis in my mouth, I didn't like it. But that's
eat it.
I think we met her. But yeah, no, every time I've had a penis in my mouth, it wasn't pleasant. I'm like, nope, I don't like this.
You could have fooled me.
Especially when you're looking up at him. Like, you're so good.
Are you putting garlic in your mouth too?
It's like Pop Rocks.
Ew. All right, boys. That's
flavored.
That's my topic for the night. What else we got?
That's it. Bye. Ciao.
Oh,
see you.
Bye.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
We can go with mine next.
Arrivederci. Go ahead.
So I had so many problems trying to find a topic for this week. I didn't want to do anything sad and depressing. I didn't want to do anything that's overdone. I didn't want to do anything that didn't involve something fun. I had a few ideas. One of them was kind of conceited because it was going to be like, get to know Jeremy. And I was going to tell some facts about me that people don't know. And I was going to have you guys ask 2 questions each. I was going to message you beforehand, come up with 2 questions. I have to answer them honestly. But then I thought you guys would take it the wrong way and you'd come up with ridiculous, stupid stuff.
Will we do
so
that?
I didn't do
we
that.
We should do an episode like that.
2 truths
I think
and a
we
lie.
should eventually here.
2 truths. The Boundless Pod Trap 2 Truths and a Lie episode.
Yeah. But then I also thought that, hey, we're going to be releasing Shorty Film's first short film, One More Body, here soon. And soon after that, The Last Goodbye. And so we need to film something. Whether it would be the next one we film or not, I was going to say, we're going to come up with an idea right now. Between the 3 of us, we're going to come up with like a plot, like a location, and come up with the film here. But I was like, that could be boring for the listeners. Maybe.
We just did.
So
we got 5 scenarios.
So what I ended up doing, I'm not too thrilled with it, is I looked up and I found 50 fun, interesting facts that you probably didn't know. Some of them, after reading through, I'm like, I didn't know that. And that's kind of interesting. Other ones, I'm like, yeah. So there's 50 here. Some we'll delve more into as I say it. Some will just read it and go on.
Before we do get into that, and it's funny that you bring that up because I did have a Shorty Films pitch I was going to throw at you off podcast, but when we get done tonight, I do have one I want to pitch to you.
Okay.
It's my first comedy idea.
Oh boy. So it shouldn't be too difficult to film.
Yeah.
Your ideas are great, but I'm like, oh my God, these would be like your car one with the navigation system. Like I love that, but I'm like, we'd have to have a budget for that one.
This one, we do not need a budget.
Yeah. All right. So the first fun fact here, a single sneeze travels 100 miles per hour and shoots 100,000 germs into the air.
100,000 germs?
Yeah. So think about that, all you people that were non-mask wearers for this COVID time. When you sneeze and your shit went all over the place, it was traveling 100 miles per hour into my face, into my system, causing me to get COVID.
It's not all about you, Jeremy.
Well, at least you're blaming them and not me anymore.
Well, it wasn't you. I know who it was that got us sick. I'm just not going to throw them under the bus. Number 2, you're born with just 1 pint of blood, but by the time you're an adult, you have 4 to 5 quarts of blood. How does that happen?
Magnets.
No. The human body contains enough fat to make 7 bars of soap.
So
Lonnie can make...
I can make 16 bars of soap. Fuck you.
Now, this is one I want you guys to try. It is impossible to hum while holding your nose. That's not...
It's a hum.
How do you hum?
You can't do it.
I can't do it.
You're not even... That's not a hum. Your freaking bottom lip flutters when you do that.
Thank you.
All right. The silhouette on the NBA logo is Hall of Fame Los Angeles Laker Jerry West. I know you're a big fan of him. Justin.
You never fucking shut up about Jerry West.
I knew it.
This fucking guy.
All right. Number 6. All humans have an automatic dive reflex. When your face is submerged in cold water or when you hold your breath, your heart slows and your blood vessels narrow to conserve oxygen.
Yes.
You knew that?
Yeah.
I figured that was a Justin fact that he would know.
It's when it kind of goes into survival thing. Just to survive, you need to warm the organs. So,
but did you know your body also has a factor in it? When you come out of water, you automatically look sexier.
Yeah, not me.
Only if it's slow-mo, though.
Yeah, if slow-mo, you come out of the water and flip your hair, you automatically look
We
sexier.
should go to a pool and just like all 3 of us get out of the pool at the same time and just go in slow motion and make people think like, wow.
Man, that fucker's sexy.
Like Fast Times.
Not that one. That one.
So number 7 here has to do with the question that you asked. Our listener asked.
What?
Newborn babies can't drown because their windpipes close in response to being submerged. However, that reflex disappears at 6 months, but we do not recommend testing this odd fact at home.
Okay, damn it. Okay.
Isn't that kind of weird, though, to think that a baby can't drown?
Well,
I feel like that can't be true.
It lived in liquid for the first 9 months of its life.
Connected to a tube. Tubing.
Now, this one might be a little bit different for me because I have a messed up stomach, but your stomach acid is strong enough to dissolve metal.
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah, I've seen soccer.
It takes, what was it, like less than a month to dissolve a penny? Or something like that?
Really?
Something like that?
Let's set that to I'm going to shit in a jar and we'll put metal in it and see if it...
Well, if you pass it...
You ask us all the time why you can't find a girlfriend, and then you say shit like that. I'm going to shit in a jar for a month.
Hey, anyways, number 9. Wild dolphins call each other by name.
I knew that.
What does it sound like? That's not a dolphin. That's a whale.
No, a whale is...
Moving on. The average lifespan of an MLB baseball is just 7 pitches.
Really? Well, that's because it's gone by then.
Yeah, usually.
They explode.
I always hated I played baseball, but I always hated watching MLB on TV, even when I was into baseball, because it was so boring. But every time a pitcher would throw the ball and it would barely touch the ground, they'd have to switch balls out. Yeah. I'm like, come on,
because
you pussy.
It changes the aerodynamics of the ball.
You just put a little bump on it. That's it. Fucking
They
Sammy
go through
Sosa.
so many. All right, number 11. Golf is the only sport to have been played on the moon. In 1971, Alan Shepard, not to be confused with the wrestler Alan Shepard, hit 2 golf balls on the lunar surface with a makeshift 6-iron.
So not Neil Armstrong and not Buzz Aldrin, but the other one?
Sure. Alan Shepard.
He just died.
Alan Shepard just died?
Yeah, a little bit ago. Within the last couple weeks, he just
Really?
died.
What
Yeah.
are the odds of that?
They were up there on my birthday.
Oh.
They wanted to get the fuck out of here,
I
too.
guess so. All right, so number 12. The term winning something hands down came from horse racing. A jockey who is far enough ahead can slacken the reins and keep his hands down. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. My favorite thing to do, hands down, is cartwheels.
Get the fuck out of here.
My favorite thing to do, hands down, is sex.
Oh.
My favorite thing to do, hands down, is touch myself because nobody else will do it.
Touch
do the hands up.
Whoa.
Number 13. Blue whale hearts weigh almost a ton and beat once every 10 seconds.
Jesus.
Why do you act like you know all these, Justin? You're so full of shit. Who are you trying to impress? It's Lonnie and I in the room with you. No, none of our viewers can see you.
I subscribe to Fun Facts on the Twitter at Fun Facts. So I probably have seen much of these.
You probably know this one.
Thank you for the drowning tidbit. That will help save.
Sperm whales are the loudest animal on Earth at 230 decibels. By comparison, an airplane is 150 decibels at takeoff.
Really? I thought an airplane can go up to 2,000 Scoville units?
No, Scoville units at heat.
Mouth, isn't it? Eating shit?
Not eating shit, but
it could be.
But the second loudest decimal unit volume is Justin's mom when I have her on the weekend. Ow!
Oh.
That's true. That's true.
Too far. Number 15. Polar bears have been mating with grizzlies in the Arctic, making a new animal called the pizzly.
Didn't know that.
I did not make that up.
That's not true at all.
The pizzly. Number 16. To prevent themselves from drifting apart, sea otters hold hands while they sleep.
That's so adorable.
I did know
so
that.
True.
It is. I do the same thing to random girls at the grocery store.
That's like the
Dolphins
cutest thing in the world. Yeah.
And sea otters, because they're mammaries like us, so they know how to love each other.
And give hand jobs. Little otter hand jobs.
Yeah. Number 17. Under certain conditions, hot water actually freezes faster than cold water.
I didn't know that. I knew that on accident because I used to always put hot water in my dog dish.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Trying to burn your dog's throat?
Well, no, I mean, they weren't outside at the time.
I knew you didn't like your dogs, but come on, man.
It's like, this is boiling. Drink it.
Speaking of dogs, number 18. A dog's sense of smell is so good that it can detect a teaspoon of sugar in 1 million gallons of water or 2 Olympic-sized pools. That's kind of impressive.
Yeah. They can smell underwater.
But yet they lick their chodes.
Justin can taste a single grain of garlic.
Yep. It's a good year.
So, number 19, that apple you buy in the grocery store could be over a year old.
Yes. They put a lot of
They must have shopped at Baker's because nobody there rotated except for me. This is probably something that Justin knows. Number 20, most wasabi paste you get in a sushi restaurant isn't wasabi at all, but horseradish.
Yes.
It's Crest toothpaste.
Now this one I'm not quite sure I quite understand. I might be stupid. I am stupid. The term okay probably comes from a misspelling of the phrase all correct.
That sounds like bullshit. Continue.
Okay. 22. Humans are capable of echolocation just like a bat or a whale.
Yes. I seen that one blind dude who clicks and he has like the glass eyes.
Yeah. Remember, did you talk about that on the podcast?
Probably not. I might. I don't know.
I thought you did because I remember Lonnie doing stuff like that. And that's when we gained that viewer over in.
That's fucked up.
What?
All right. 23. Lobsters used to be so cheap that they were frequently used to feed prisoners.
A lobster dinner as a last meal?
Now they just get crabs.
That's fucked up. Oh.
Eat it.
That's so good.
Now to get crabs, you got to go to Justin's mom. No, test twice.
Oh, man. You do know his... Never mind. I'm just kidding. I was
My mom's dead. In prison.
Number 24.
She thinks she's dead.
Tomatoes are native to the Americas, so there was no such thing as tomato sauce in Italy until at least the 16th century.
It still counts.
It said Italy.
Yeah.
You should know.
It still counts.
Before they just used straight garlic. That's why there's never been a vampire in Italy.
All right.
Just her neighboring.
25. We're halfway through. Dentures were once routinely made out of actual human or animal teeth.
Yeah, They used to use dead soldiers' teeth.
Yeah.
That's kind of
like
weird.
George Washington. He didn't have wooden teeth. He had actual people's teeth.
His teeth were made of wool.
Nope.
What movie is that from?
Wool.
It sounds like Christopher Walken.
No.
It was Big Daddy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Number 26. Ancient Romans used urine to whiten their teeth.
Yes.
Justin still uses that to this day. He always asks for my piss, which is weird.
Oh, it's for different reasons.
27. Most store-bought orange juice is artificially flavored. Ooh, that was a good one. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Number 28. Cochineal beetles, actually a species of scale insect that Parasitis cactuses are a major source of red food coloring.
Yes.
I don't even know what the fuck I said there, but just
There's a lot of beetles that like makeup or whatever, like crushing the beetles. You can, you eat it like candy. M&Ms have like the beetle stuff on it.
Eat it.
Yep.
Number 29. The Food and Drug Administration has a handbook detailing the levels of insect fragments and other icky-sounding contaminants that are safe for humans to consume in specific foods.
Yes, sir. I had to take a test where we had to figure all that out, and that was in the book.
You had to memorize the FDA ingredients.
No, but it was in the book.
Why? Okay, number 30. The Bloody Mary cocktail may be named after England's Queen Mary, who had hundreds of people burned at the stake.
I didn't know about the last part. I didn't know it was more of a Victorian or made from a royalty.
But I mean, burning people at the stake, that's not bloody. That's just
It's not. I mean, like
blistery. The
blisters are blood clots. Let me have this one.
I thought. Who is it? Is it Bathory? Who is
Daughtry?
The winner to the second. Was it? Did he win the second one? Third one? Probably the third one.
I think the second and third one. He won.
There was like the Justin dude, and then what's her name? And
Kelly Clarkson, Clay Aiken, and Ruben were season 2.
Elizabeth Bathory? Never mind.
That bitch. All right, number 31. In the 16th and 17th centuries, wealthy Europeans ate remedies containing human body parts to cure disease. Justin knew that one.
Sounds
if it's
right.
about eating people, Justin always knows.
The tiny polyps that make up coral spawn by releasing eggs and sperm into the water. An entire reef typically releases that all at once over about 20. I guess these two ran together, so I can't finish that one. Sorry. I didn't see the typo here.
They just
You're just when you're swimming in the ocean, you're swimming around all
sperm.
kinds of sex.
Hey.
All the wonderful life of sex.
Number 33. The Pacific Ocean is larger than all land masses on Earth combined. I knew that one.
That is the biggest one.
Number 34. The pressure in the deepest part of the ocean is over 8 tons per square inch, which is equivalent to having 50 jumbo jets piled on top of you.
All right.
That would suck ass.
Mariana Trench, isn't it super, super deep too? It's like
We'll
one
just
of
say
the
it's
deepest parts of the ocean.
Most trenches are deep. I'm not going there.
One of my biggest fears is the deep blue sea. There's so much stuff in the ocean we have no idea fucking exists.
They say that we've explored more of space than we have the sea.
I feel like the sea would be a lot simpler and
further, I should say,
to explore.
Yeah.
Well, pressure. I mean, we can pressurize. I guess the outside the atmosphere. I mean, the pressure isn't as heavy.
But
as
how deep down was the Titanic?
All the way.
It's all the way at the bottom.
Because they go down there. They can send people down. I mean, they can't get out of the thing, but
it's because it's in the Bermuda.
Well, here's number 35, and it's kind of weird because it has to do with Pez.
None of these have been weird.
Pez candy was invented to help people quit smoking cigarettes. The original Pez dispensers were shaped similarly to a cigarette and lighter.
That's cool. All mine are shaped like Star Wars figures.
Your cigarettes and lighters?
Number 36. Babies are born without kneecaps as we know them.
Yeah.
Babies have cartilaginous structures in their knees which turn to bone by the age of 4.
I think.
So kids,
what is it like? There's a few, like 26 or 16 bones that babies don't have until they get of age.
That's just weird. Like I really should look more into like the human body because it's really fascinating.
Well, and it's true they don't have kneecaps because I put Mox in the figure 4 all the time, and he doesn't give a shit.
So wait till you get older and your kneecaps are shot.
Oh, dude, my kneecaps are shot now.
Wait until he's walking. He's going straight for the kneecaps.
He fucking goes for he bites now, that little fucker.
That's cheating.
He started biting.
He got a haircut.
Yeah, I cut all his hair off.
He cried when I came in.
He doesn't like you.
He was excited when I got here.
Yeah, Jeremy got here. It's because he had food.
Bitch.
Number 37. Cheese is the most shoplifted food in the world. Ooh, he's stealing cheese. Do you ever watch that Vine guy that does that stuff with his like?
Yeah.
Ooh, he's stealing cheese.
There's like that pelican that took a cheese circle, whatever, out of the store. That's fucked up.
So you think that's cute, birds stealing food, until you've lived in San Francisco, and then that's a common thing.
That's a phobia out there.
Yeah.
Number 38, you can't visit the world's biggest waterfall because it's actually deep underwater in the ocean. Between Iceland and Greenland, the flow of the Denmark Strait cataract is 2,000 times more powerful than Niagara Falls.
That'd be cool.
That is kind of crazy. Like caves that
so much
build up underwater.
That would just be neat to see. Like, because that's got to be some crazy current
No
to make
shit,
it be a waterfall.
Maybe that's that's what causes the Bermuda Triangle.
No.
I don't even know what I meant.
Spirits control the Bermuda Triangle.
That's our 50th episode. We're going to the Bermuda Triangle, boys.
Sweet.
I got it.
Right.
All right, number 39. The YKK on your zipper. It stands for Yoshida Kogyo Kabushiki Shiki Kasha.
That's fucked up.
Which roughly translates to Yoshida Company Limited.
That's the most
easier to say.
Racist translation I've ever
It's
heard.
estimated that this company makes half the zippers in the world, and I'm not making that up. That's
you
right
literally wrote Ching Chong Chang next to it.
all right. Number 40. Beer was legally classified as a soft drink in Russia until 2011.
Have you ever seen anybody from Russia or watched Once Upon a Time in Russia before?
That's only why. Drink the hard stuff.
Number 41. A hummingbird's heart can beat up to 1,260 times per minute in one species at least.
Yes, and they need to eat their body weight a day just to survive.
Well, they also can flap their wings it's like 600 times per second, which I always, as a kid, knew that. And I thought that was the most fascinating thing. I'm like, how the fuck is that even possible? I still, as an adult child.
If they didn't fly as much, they would...
They would look like me. See, I used to eat like a hummingbird. Now I'm the fat one.
Yeah, but if they didn't
keep eating your body weight,
longer.
that's why. It's more every day for you.
It's like pitchers. You only got so many pitches before your arm's done.
Yeah, I know that to be true.
Yeah.
Number 42, I think this one's very interesting. Toilet seats are cleaner than your cell phone.
Yes. You can lick your toilet seat.
Yeah, I've never jerked off on my toilet seat before.
Why would you jerk off on your phone?
Because I can't see very well.
Can't see.
Didn't I think I
colors.
Covered a story about that where there was like a kid who was jerking off on his iPhone that his mom bought, and his mom came in and like he was pretty much, giving his girlfriend a facial, doing like FaceTime, and she's just like, yeah, you can't see it.
I give that kid an A for effort.
She's like, I fucking bought that phone.
C for creativity. Number 43, I think we all know this one. Chewing gum can't be digested.
Yeah, it can. Blow a bubble out.
Give it a good college try.
44, the longest hiccuping attack lasted 68 years.
Jesus Christ.
How would you not have, your chest would be done.
Or your throat. Like,
yeah.
Like just that spasming action of your throat.
I mean, God dang. That would just, and then it just magically stopped one day, or did the person die? And then it just stopped at... All right, number 45. Octopuses are considered the most intelligent invertebrate. They've even been observed using tools.
Those things are crazy awesome. There is a topic I do want to do, and
about pussies.
No.
Octopus.
Octopi.
Okay.
It's like they can shapeshift. They're real life shapeshifters. They can become appearance of their prey or like so many underwater creatures.
That would be the worst thing, to be in the water, but to have a fucking octopus attacking you and just like grabbing you with all of its tentacle. Fuck that.
Stop squirting. Don't ink.
Number 46. More people have been to the moon than the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean.
Lonnie was just talking about that.
Fucking.
We're writing your segment for you.
It's weird.
This is
like
fucked up.
Everything is crazy. Number 47. Tsunamis can move at speeds over 500 miles per hour. Okay, that's different. Number 48. Twister was considered a risque game.
That's fucked up.
When it came out in the 1960s. I could see why, because you butt fuck your family and friends while you're...
I still consider it I can take you boys in Twister.
And June.
Probably could.
Looks like left hand on green.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you back into the prison position so fast.
Oh my God. Too far.
Why are you taking off your pants, Uncle Ronnie?
All right, number 49. It may be surprising, but a whole lemon actually contains more sugar than a single strawberry. That's partly because of the size difference. However, a cup of strawberry slices has more sugar than a cup of lemon slices. How does that work?
Mind fucking blown.
Right? And
it might have to be with the rind of it.
Because
if it's cut.
Yeah.
A cup.
All right, number 50, the last one. This one I think is very interesting. Flamingos turn pink
because
due to the sheer amount of shrimp they consume.
Or it's just, was it the salmon? I thought it was.
Well,
it was something.
According to this website,
they get their
shrimp.
color from the color of the food that they eat.
That's funny because I don't remember them eating pussy.
Eat it.
I think we reached our quota. I think we've
don't give
doubled
a
our quota.
fuck. We're going to keep going with it. Even on our movie review podcast, we're going to use that.
Is this still? Oh, that's Lonnie.
And she's really hungry. All right. So those are some fun facts you may have or may not have known, but now you do.
Good job, boys.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's not very, very informative.
For us practically writing that, he just printed out an article off of
I just copied down Justin's journal, his diary.
I knew it.
Number 43.
What
did
I
you
learned
know?
today. Dear diary. Well, let's move it on over to mine here. Mine kind of integrates with you guys too. I had you boys we're going to do a new segment pretty much called You Thought We Forgot About That. So.
Oh, fuck. I totally forgot.
Did you really? Oh, he's winking. He's winking.
I don't think you forgot, guys. I'm eating Pez because I'm a smoker.
It's a what do they call it? You need some sort of
aphrodisiac?
No, not what I'm talking about.
Like a stimulant? Or
yeah, stimulate, like a hand stimulation, so you can.
Oh, I've been hand stimulating myself.
Then what am I doing with my foot over here? This whole time, getting an ankle cramp.
An ankle cramp?
Yeah.
Is that even possible?
Yeah.
So explain the rules of this for all the people listening. All the three of them.
You thought we forgot about that. This is pretty much a new segment where we're going to bring up some things from the past, and it can be anything from like a story, a childhood game, a song, something that somebody might have done. I guess it's not a current event. It could be a current event depending on how buried it was in the news that was toppled over. So I will start off with this one. Have you guys ever seen a dead body?
At funerals, yeah.
Yeah, funerals.
Have you ever seen a dead body while driving?
Well, I was an EMTB, so never driving, but driving to a dead body, sure.
No. Okay, well, this next one isn't going to be as clever as the rest, but have you ever seen a dead body while you're out driving on the freeway and it was only half of the body hanging on an exit sign around 7 a.m. in the morning?
Oh, yeah. That yesterday, I thought.
Yeah. So there's a story about a guy who was killed. He was ejected from his vehicle. So it was back in 2015, October 30th. This was Devil's Night, or Devil's Morning, because it was 7 a.m. in the morning. It might have been a little bit before that. Richard Pananian, he was ejected from his vehicle from a collision he veered into. A Ford F-150 definitely will crush his, well, it's my car, a 2004 Ford Fiesta. I have that exact car. Not that exact car, but because that was crushed.
That's what those stains are.
Yeah. So
why that caller was asking about blood.
No, this is for a different reason. I'm sure. I'm assuming. So he was driving on the freeway, and I don't know if he just got on it or if he was trying to merge into a different lane, but he collided with a truck, and his vehicle pretty much spun and started flipping. And while it was flipping, it ejected him. He wasn't wearing his seatbelt, which was really fucked up because he just installed a racing safety harness. But this is like the first time he didn't wear his
How do we know this?
It was in one of the documents.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it was like he wasn't currently installing it while he's driving on the freeway.
As he was flipping through, he's like, I need to let people know.
Yeah. Probably all the rumbling and tumbling and stuff inside of the vehicle without a seatbelt. It might have like cut his body in half in the vehicle or while he was being expelled from the vehicle, but his body cut in half and his top part, his upper part, his torso and upwards landed on an exit sign. Was it Colorado Street exit sign? And he pretty much was just up there for the next 2 to 3 hours, just greeting passerbys.
Man.
And it's like, if you're driving under that and you're getting blood just on your windshield, like,
But the thing is, this was the day before Halloween, so
Yeah.
people probably thought it was a prank.
Yes. When the news came out, people did think it was a prank. And there was like so many things after that. So yeah, the safety harness, seatbelt. Guess what he was going to? He was going to his new job, which was, and I have it right here, it was the Glendale Collision Center. So it's like the irony of this entire story. It's so fucked up. But like, yeah.
And what year was this?
This was 2015, October 30th, 2015.
So that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, just 6 years ago. Almost 6 years ago, this Devil's Night.
And I don't remember it.
Oh.
I get it. Now I understand what this is segment's for.
Yeah, when the firefighters got there, he was pronounced dead on the scene.
You think? Hang on. Let me check his pulse.
Let's
Wait. Nope.
check the pulse on the bottom half first.
Where is it?
But yeah, that was my story. What do you guys got?
I'll do mine now. In a very balmy Daytona Beach, Florida, on February 18th, 2001, the world lost one of the greatest men in the history of America.
What year was it?
2001, February 18th. Do you know this man I speak of?
Yes, if he was one of the greatest.
One of the greatest American men in the history of America.
A musician?
No.
Sometimes he whistles.
Probably.
That counts.
Probably.
Andy Griffith?
This man had a need for speed.
Dale Earnhardt Sr.? Is he still alive?
That is exactly correct.
Oh, okay. Cool.
February 18th, 2001. 20 years. The anniversary of Dale Earnhardt's death.
I remember that quite a bit. The thing I remember most about that is like, and I say this with all sincerity, I'm not making fun of this in any way, but that was the most pansiest collision ever.
It's
like,
just, you hit just right though.
Yeah, because it's just like, obviously they're going faster than it appears on TV, but it's not like, I just don't feel like he hit the wall that hard. I feel like he went to the car in front of him and it just
slid up right into the wall.
It just didn't look like that would be enough to kill somebody.
Well, some of the things that contributed to his death was he never wore a full helmet. He always wore just the back head, face was open helmet.
So he had like what is it called? What's the Jewish thing?
The
chuppah?
No, just the
yarmulke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yep.
Yarmulke helmet.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It was
that doesn't exist. You're onto something.
The 2000 Talladega.
We'll put that on the Zazzle sites. Yarmulkes.
On lap 173, he hit the wall, crashing the iconic black number 3 car.
Yeah. Wasn't there
As
a movie?
A car speeds by right when you say that.
There was like a Groundhog style movie with like, I thought it was around that story, but like the vehicle crashes into a wall and then he wakes up again and like he repeats it.
That sounds like a lot of movies.
I was going to say, there's been a lot of movies. I know, and not Groundhog's Day, obviously, but I know there was a movie with Tom Cruise that was like that.
Tom Cruise did something. What was that racing movie with Jackie Chan?
Rumble in the Bronx?
Nope.
Was it
like
Fast and Furious Drift?
That's fucked up. You can't just because somebody's Asian, you think it's Jackie Chan. That's fucked up.
Tokyo Drift.
Anyways, continue.
Anyway, the best movie about drifting. But yeah, that was the day that NASCAR lost one of its heroes. That was that day America lost a hero.
Why NASCAR? Why did you pick NASCAR?
It was people who don't.
First thing that popped up in Google.
I'm going with it.
It's kind of a double-edged sword. A lot of people, if you look at me, wouldn't understand that I am kind of a hick. Like, I love to fish. I love to hunt. I grew up on a farm. It was just one of those things. As much as Tracy's family, they love NASCAR. My family loved NASCAR. I never really got into it, but Dale Earnhardt dying was a big thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wasn't a NASCAR fan at all, but that was a big deal.
Right? Yeah.
I went to the redneck games when I was younger in Georgia.
Did ya?
I did, and I didn't understand the whole concept of rednecks back then. I was a kid, so it was like, this is cool. There's a guy named Elbow who goes around with like a beer torch, like it's a stack of beer. I was like, and everybody's like, oh, Elbow,
there's my man. That's my man, Elbow.
Like, whatever. Where's the blades at?
So I chose that too. Plus, kind of progressing into my older life, a band I really enjoyed wrote a song called "You Know Whose Seatbelt," which they were referring to Dale Earnhardt.
Not the guy in Justin's story.
Not him.
Richard Pananian.
Richard Pananian. But yeah,
he's related to the Kardashians, a different Kardashian, but
they wrote a song called "You Know Whose Seatbelt," and it was just one of those weird progressions that Dale Earnhardt was part of my younger life, and then more towards my teens, my later teens, The Bled came out with "You Know Whose Seatbelt," which brought Dale Earnhardt back into my life, and then I got married to Tracy, which brought Dale Earnhardt back into my life, and then
that was one of her top fives.
Yeah, totally in her.
Who just belched?
People I would love to
I think
fuck.
that was him. He was talking while that happened.
I know. That's why I was looking at you and you didn't belch, but he was talking. So I was like, how the fuck did that happen?
It was the ghost.
How does he do that?
It was the room ghost.
He's like the redneck Razel. Yeah.
I could like
the beat.
I could throw my voice.
His belch
at the same time.
His belch sounded good.
But yeah, that's why I chose the 2001 death of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Or Dale Earnhardt. I wish Jr. would die. But
whoa, we can make it happen.
Uh-huh.
Well, we can't. Our fans could if they were.
If they appreciate
Stacey,
us.
get on.
If you want free gear, we can give you like a $5 bumper sticker if you take out
all you have to do.
So
we do not condone this. So
I'm not going to read everything that I have here for mine. I'm going to go back to December 31st, 1999 and January 1st, 2000, the Y2K bug and the panic that it created among the world.
I was waiting for Jericho to do something.
Yeah. Well, so for those that don't know, basically they were worried because all the computers, instead of using 4 digits for the year, they would just use the last 2 digits. So like 1998 would be 98, 99 would be 99. What they were afraid of was that when the year 2000 hit, would the computers be able to recognize that 00 was 2000, or would it resort back to 1900, which means that banks, all the information they had for people's accounts would get
reverted back
back
to zero.
They're
negative
talking about like ATMs breaking down because they wouldn't be able to do whatever, cars and computers, all that stuff. So everybody was afraid that the world was literally at midnight going to just end and mass chaos was going to happen. People were going and stocking up on water, food. There's people that were building bunkers and
preppers and all that.
Thinking that, I mean, to me, it's like, yeah, preparing is one thing, but the routes that some of these people went, it's like just when the clock strikes midnight doesn't mean that everything just automatically turns to chaos. There's going to be a slow build to it happening. But 2000 came and nothing happened. Everything was back. But that's because they did have enough time to where they were having computer people fix it to put in 4 digits instead of 2.
Fail safes and stuff like that until it can... Little patches, as they call it.
But yeah, I can remember exactly where I was when that happened, because I remember I was in high school at the time. I was in drumline, which was part of band.
Geek.
And we were actually...
Is that a disorder? Should I...
Yeah. We were actually in London for the Millennium Parade. We were asked to come out and march in the Millennium Parade.
That was a good show.
You went all the way to London?
Yeah, they flew us out to London. And my mom took the opportunity to go as a chaperone, because she's like, when else am I going to have the opportunity to go on it? I mean, obviously we had to pay some, but we didn't have to pay full for it. But so we were out there, and London's actually 6 hours ahead of here. And I remember we were just in contact. And I mean, this is before like cell phones were a big, huge thing. So we were using calling cards. And I just remember we called my sisters, and there's like, is it midnight there? Yeah. Did anything happen? No. Okay. Happy New Year. And went on. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I think deep down we all have forgotten that. But if you go on YouTube and you look up videos of like news stories, it's fucking crazy how insane some people were acting like that.
I don't remember, like, was there like a lot of property damage, or I just remember the hoopla that was kind of all around that was, the world's going to end. And that was probably one of the first times it implemented one of my deeper skeptical reasoning based things, and I kind of looked back also of like the, doomsday or the false prophet, world ending, all of the failed stuff. Y2K is one of the things that's like, oh, just wait it out. I'll just check in and I'll research some things first and before I jump on board.
Right. Like I said, I was in high school. I was like 16, I think, at the time when that happened. And I think if I was the age I am now, back when this happened, I might have been taking it a little bit more seriously, but I don't think I understand the severity of what could have happened with it. One story that I thought was kind of funny watching news things from back then was there's this Amish guy that had an Amish store, and he could not keep any of it because none of his stuff was like electrical. It was all, Amish.
Paper-based, yeah.
And so it's like he was selling lanterns and ovens, grills, all this stuff, and he was just talking about like how this is Y2K has definitely benefited him. And I just remember at the end of it, the news anchor's just like, is there anything that you would like to tell people? Any last thing? And he's just like, yeah, just that when you buy this, all sales are final. You can't return it. And stuff. So I thought that was kind
good
of
on him.
What about you, Lonnie? Do you remember much when that happened? I don't see you and your family as the kind of people that would panic over something like that.
No.
Shit, I would have been 15.
Yeah, I would have been 16 at the time. At the time, no. And we've lived through so many apocalypses in our lifetimes. Yeah, at the time it was just really another day. I really didn't think nothing of it. And at that time I was a little narco-anarchist, so I was hoping it would have happened. But no.
How different do you think it would be if that happened nowadays with everything that's going on? Do you think people
I think it would have been worse. It's definitely with property damage for sure.
Absolutely.
If somebody knew that, or not known, it was assumed that the world was going to end, and people don't think about it. They don't utilize any critical thinking. They just go off of emotion.
I feel there'd be more panic because
for sure.
There's probably 99% of shit in this world is all computer based.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you think about it though, right now, the reason the majority of the problems happen is because of social media.
Yeah.
And back then, social media really wasn't a thing.
It didn't control anybody.
Yeah.
Right. So I think a lot of it would have been chaos, but I don't think it would have been as mass chaos because there wouldn't have been that opportunity for groups of people to get together so quickly.
Yeah.
So I think, as much as there would have been chaos, it would have been smaller, isolated.
Some people would have been fine. I mean, because what we utilize is the freebase, not freebasing, not here anyways.
Appreciate.
But yeah, the free domain stuff, the Googles, the iOSs, there's so many operating systems that people create on their own that, some of them are free if you want to use it, but you need to know how to work the back end. And
I know how to work the back end.
Right. I've seen you work your back end.
Does he ever?
Well, another funny thing is watching these news stories. There was this guy that he went all out. He had the bunker. He had wells of water that he had coolers in this bunker full of frozen milk.
And then they built a bar over his bunker.
Yeah. That's a good movie, by the way. But, and it's not far off from that movie Blast from the Past. This guy, it was his wife, and I think they had one kid. It was three of them. And he was set, he would probably today still be good with the amount of meat and foods he had. And the funny thing is they actually, a few years ago, or actually it would have probably been a year ago, they met up with him 20 years later and they were interviewing him, and he laughed the whole thing off because he was known for being the most serious for it.
He took it.
And they asked him well, what happened? He's just I had a big party. He's I invited everybody we knew over and we had so much food at this party and stuff. So kind of not cool that he laughed it off and it didn't get ridiculed. I mean, if it would have happened today, I mean, God,
you would have been a meme.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of merit behind being a doomsday prepper, but being a prepper, I think in theory is a good thing, but being a prepper in practice,
when it actually happens, all your shit's expired.
Right.
You got to get those bonus buckets.
I think having maybe a week's worth of MREs is a thing, but having years worth of MREs, I think is a little ridiculous.
Right.
Some people, that's what the bonus buckets are. You get the 5-gallon buckets of just goop. It turns into mashed potatoes. Just add a little water.
That's basically an MRE. Yeah. Buckets of goop.
Speaking of that, this girl that I work with, I didn't know these existed. It's
girls?
These, yeah. It's this cup and you add water to it.
Uh-huh.
And it grows a muffin.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Literally, it's just water. You pour water on it and it grows a muffin in a matter of
put it in the microwave.
I don't know that you do.
Yeah,
there's those ones.
There's mug cakes. Yeah.
But my mind was totally blown with that. I was like,
I like the brownies better.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I'm gonna try one.
There's the confetti.
Can confirm. Yeah.
Good shit. You can get it in your most grocery lines in your cereal aisle.
You know what you got me hooked on and I haven't had for a while and I should get them? Seaweed chips.
Oh, yeah. I was actually going to bring you some.
You should, because it's been probably over a year since I've had some.
Seaweed's so good for you.
The only place I could find them at was Baker's.
It's better than going under the sea. Well, do you guys want to play a game real quick?
Sure.
Real long, more likely.
What?
All right. We've done this game before. We haven't done this game before, but we've done this game before. I'm bringing back Coroner's Corner. Coroner's Corner.
Coroner's Corner.
I can't say the words together because it just sounds like I'm saying the same word.
Coroner's Corner.
And if you listen back, and if I...
Coroner as in job, corner as in where you go to when you're in trouble.
Yes. Thank you for the explanation.
So
So,
you're going to have to explain the game to me.
All right.
I forgot.
I, the forensic examiner, will describe the findings of the deceased and the John and Jane Does, if you will. Jeremy and Lonnie are the detectives.
Are we getting is this like an official season game? Like,
No.
or
No,
we're not
we're
getting
not
points
doing
yet?
that.
Okay.
Not
No,
yet.
fuck that. We're not doing any of that.
Gotta wait till he gets
Want to
punished.
join me? So yeah, Jeremy and Lonnie are the detectives trying to outdo the others for an undisclosed hypothetical bonus. So we had Lonnie heads and Jeremy tails previously. We're just going to stick with those same names. Not that we need to flip for anything. You guys will go together. You guys do have papers that you're going to write on here. So you're going to submit your answers to me. Every piece of submitted evidence counts as a point. To close a case completely, a case must contain correct answers to up to 2 out of the 3 points per case file. You must guess the deceased, the killer, and the movie. So we're not doing people of history. We're doing based off of a movie. So if you can guess as many of those, we'll move it along faster.
So the movie, the person that killed, and the person that's dead.
Yes.
Okay.
If it's a person.
Character name or actor name or both?
I will accept as close to the actual answer as possible. So character or actor or maybe even possibly occupation that they're portraying. So we have 12 files to go through, but we need to get a start on these. Are you guys feeling rushed? Are you feeling hurried? Like, let's do this.
Yes.
If you can find and submit leads early on, we can speed through. I'll go through each file 2 times. After the first run through, you will not know if you've solved the case unless both detectives confirm all 3 necessary findings. After the second go, we will cover only the open cases. Does that make sense?
No, but
We have 12 case files.
No, I got it. I'm being fictitious.
I'm going to give you some information. And then if you have an answer, you can submit it. Going to go through it the second time. I'm going to give you some extra information to help get these clues out. So time is passing and we're kind of accumulating more leads.
Okay.
All right.
Do this.
Also, for the listeners, due to this being an audio podcast, we will cut a lot of the dead space. Not that you need to know that, but I'm just going to add that in there because
I get it. Dead space.
Yeah, we're not. That's not it. Fuck, he already got one.
Oh, Peter.
First case file.
Dun, dun, dun.
Coroner's finding is as follows. Severe bludgeoning is evident. Many deep fractures shown, a few indicating a large fall on the back. That's possible cause of death. Not so much blood loss due to the dirt and dust acting as a compacting agent causing blood to clot. Write down your answer.
Okay. That doesn't help at all.
So fell.
There's many
Fractures on the back.
There's many deep fractures shown. There's an indicating of a large fall
Okay.
on the back,
That could have killed him.
which probably is the cause of death.
Covered in dirt and dust.
It's not official as of yet. Not so much blood loss, so you're not really seeing any blood. And there's also like dirt covering him or her, which is acting as a compacting agent to probably stop bleeding or cover. We got one person submitting something. One detective already on the case has a possible lead, something to follow up on. Submit your evidence theory.
Do I get punished for being wrong?
No.
Okay.
I got nothing.
All right, next case file. Findings are as followed. Cause of death, multiple ballistics through many vital organs. Number undetermined due to close range use of automatic firearms. Possibly under 200 rounds, definitely over 50. Shot grouping could suggest more than able to accurately assume. File states blood splatter from location started in driver's seat and led outside vehicle as if subject was attempting to retreat. So, The victim was shot in a vehicle, riddled with bullets, looking as though they were trying to retreat through the passenger door. Possibly multiple shooters, automatic weapons.
I only got 2 of things, and I know this is not right.
I'm skipping it.
Skipping it?
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next case file. People are suffering. We need to close these cases. Sorry. Number 3, findings are as followed. Subject showing abrasions on wrist and jaw. Possible struggle ensued. An open cavity in the chest. Blood labs consistent with medicine addiction. So, it looks as though this person was held down at one point due to the abrasions on the wrist and the jaw. The person was probably fighting back. There is an open cavity in their chest, but the blood labs that came back suggest that the victim was probably addicted to medication at one point. Heavy dosages.
That's my answer.
Nothing? All right, we'll move it on. Number 4. Coroner findings. Subject suffered gunfire to the face. Blast rate not consistent with suicide. Weapon was identified as a Chrome 45 auto ordnance, M1911A1. The body was clearly moved from place of murder.
I apparently don't watch enough violent movies.
A 45 chromed auto ordnance. It wasn't suicide, so he shot the person. The blast rate isn't consistent with suicide. He was shot in the face, close range, and then he was moved from a different place. I need the deceased, the killer.
Deceased name, but this is probably anyways, but
Take a shot in the dark.
that's what this game should be called. Shot in the dark.
All right. Moving on. Case file number 5. Findings are as followed. A deep marks indicated a heavy slicing instrument, such as a large knife or axe or machete, to be the primary cause of death, or the weapon that caused the death. The angle of the slashing indicates the subject to be in an unorthodox position. So the way that their body moved in connection with the slashing, it's an awkward position. Also note that some of these bodies you probably wouldn't have found, but due to the rules of this game, that we're just going to play it like this. After you send your guys' units on this, you'll get more information, so probably that will help better solve these cases.
One would think.
Yeah, unless they don't have to. I don't know if you're qualified for this job.
I know I'm not.
Detective. Nothing?
Nothing.
All right.
I wrote 4 completely different movies.
I wrote 2.
Wait, did you?
I wrote 3 completely different movies and one that said I don't like action movies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you meant for that answer. I'm like, did I read that right? Is this 5?
Wait.
6.
How many?
There's 12.
We get 12
Yes.
chances? Well, I'm writing down 12 different fucking movies.
You're just writing them out before you give the case file? Yeah. So, case file number 6, forensics finding. Partial body found. This is not Richard Pananian. Partial body found, awaiting DNA analysis. Lower body from waist down with jagged tissue torn. Examination of remaining bone indicates possible thrashing. The spinal alignment seems to be crushed upon itself. It's a male subject in short tan shorts. Not much to work with. We just got the lower half. Nothing?
No.
Nothing. All right, come on, detectives. You guys need to up your game.
Do you have any clue over there?
No.
Still nothing?
No.
I
wrote down 3 answers.
I'm getting farther away the more he reads.
That's usually the case.
It's fucked up. Number 7. Forensic findings are as followed. Cause of death, 92% possible hypothermia. Body found submerged, but no water found in the lungs. Police reports state body was moved to water after death. Impressions on the wrist consistent with handcuffs, but no restraints found.
I think I got the right movie, but
If you know what the movie is, you would know who the deceased.
right.
And then for this one, the killer is complicated because it is suggesting that 92% is a positive hypothermia. But how did they get there?
Can I ask for a hint and ask if I am right?
You can ask, but I might not give an answer until after second.
Am I right?
Are
From this, am I correct?
From your last
Yes,
view?
from this.
No.
Is any of this correct?
Any of the last 2 or 3 entries?
These 3 entries that aren't crossed out.
We will have to find out.
God damn it.
Number 8. Case file number 8, coroner report. Subject suffered multiple stab wounds to the chest, one missing the heart, one of the stab wounds missing the heart. The body was found hanging, but appears severe damage to larynx post-hanging.
That's the only thing I can think of is
the same one.
Fucking
you want
this.
to submit that as evidence?
Well,
we can follow up on it, but so the person was stabbed multiple times with a knife.
Like, I'm just gonna keep going with these two,
just keep going with it.
Just go like 1 through 10.
The news that we, after your units come back with yet more evidence or leads, it will definitely give this away. I'm pretty sure.
You'd think.
You can submit it, but you can have a second chance to submit better evidence.
For all the evidence, I'm going with A and B.
For everything else?
From all of that. This is my A and B.
I got nothing.
You got nothing? I'll repeat this again. Person was stabbed multiple times. One of the stab wounds was really close to the heart. Missed the heart. They were later found hanging.
I like how
severe damage to the larynx.
Repeating it the second time, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, that did it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I can tell you the exact scene where that happened in this franchise.
In that one?
Yeah. I can tell the exact moment.
The next evidence, because once I do my complete autopsy, this is just my initial report.
Okay. Now I know how you guys felt last week with my game.
It's going to be frustrating the first time around, but once the hints come, once the next evidence comes, you guys are going to feel stupid.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to hate yourself a little bit.
Just shut up and keep
All right,
reading.
number 9.
Coroner report, subject arrived clean of any evidence. Seems to have suffered 12 stab wounds. Emphasis on seams. Murder weapon, a possible kitchen knife. Forensic investigator states much of the blood was drained. Number 9. Do you guys want to submit anything for it?
That was 9, right?
That was 9. Yeah, we're going on to 10. Stabbed with a kitchen knife.
At least 12 times.
At least 12 times.
Emphasis
on
seams.
On seams.
Like it was 12 times. There could have been more, but from what the closeness of the stab wounds could be 12 or more. I feel like this should have been an easy one, but yeah. Any submission, detectives?
Nope.
Nope. All right,
just my notice.
Jeez. There's a hypothetical bonus that you guys aren't boners. Yeah.
If we were talking about boners, I'd probably know more.
Hypothetical boners.
All right, number 10. Findings are as followed. Body found severely burned. Face welts, which identify small pockets of acid chemical compounds of melatonin and histamine. A mangling consistent with a high fall.
How am I wrong?
Is it the same answer again?
Yes.
The person is found burned. There's face welts all over the face with chemical compounds of melatonin and histamine in little pockets of the face. A mangling consistent with a high fall. So their body is mangled. At least much of it is. Anything. Fuck, dude, you better get this next one with just the little evidence that I give you.
Hold on.
And that's saying a lot. I think you should get this next one too. I think these next two should be relatively easy for both of you.
That's what you said for the last 9.
I know.
The evidence will
be good.
Your guys' evidence will solve.
I will repeat it a second time. It's a little bit slower.
Let me tell you this one. He's been hung and stabbed with time.
If I say it to you in a more slower pace,
he was stabbed in a chest. Oh, hey, they all have been.
This time he has $6 in his pocket.
I didn't necessarily say he or she. All right, number 11. We'll take a minute for Jeremy to regain his bearings.
This time he was reading the phone book.
He has $6.
Am I going to have to separate you two?
Oh, shit.
All right, forensic findings are as followed. 2 bodies examined. Previous wounds established due to healing process and first aid. Both bodies suffered severe blunt force trauma to the skull.
Fucking Friday the 13th!
It's not Friday. Okay, I don't want to give anything away. So both bodies suffered severe blunt force trauma to the skull. Small traces of blood found on the bodies that are not consistent with either subject. So it's probably somebody else who might have bled on them. Possible fight ensued. Debris of porcelain found in clothing.
I had to punch you square in the mouth.
Oh, this is an easy one. Oh, fuck.
One of them has are previous wounds established due to the healing process and first aid. So somebody's bandaged at one point when they came in, and there's porcelain shards in their clothing.
What did they have for lunch?
We will have to find that out upon deeper analysis. Did you just cross it out and then write Friday the 13th again? No, it doesn't matter how you write it or say it. It's probably not. Okay.
I wrote Friday the 13th, 1 through 10.
All right. Last one, number 12.
Okay.
Luckily, your guys' units are coming back with actual information that you guys led them elsewhere. They're doing their job, your job for you.
My unit always comes back with information.
Number 12.
What does that mean?
I don't.
So, number 12, findings are as followed. Body is decapitated. No other bodily damage other than minor scrapes and bruises. Body was found in a vehicle accident. Stains on pant leg consistent with coffee stains. One detective is on it.
I just got a movie.
I'll let you guys know.
I think...
Now, if we change
you can
second
change
time
it.
through, we still get the point for if it was right the first time.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
But you guys will not... well, go ahead. What did you...
I still think it, like, more and more, I think it's sounding more like this.
It does, but it's not.
Okay, then I got nothing.
It was in a car accident when the person was found.
Chester was in the car.
Yeah, I'm not even up to date with a lot of those. Congratulations, boys. Both of you have solved one. Do you guys want to know which ones you solved, or do you want to go through the second evidence?
Is it the one that I had all three?
Yes. I will accept your killer.
Well, afterwards, I thought I should have put like
Rose Dawson. Let's hammer that out. Let's hammer out your guys' findings. The evidence that you boys have submitted, which I have accepted and have declared that they are accurate, you both have solved both of those cases apiece. We'll go with Detective Jeremy. So forensic findings are as follows: the 92% possible hypothermia. The only items that was found on a person are a few coins dated between 1908 and 1912, as well as a few art pencils. You didn't get that one?
Huh?
Yeah. The person who, sorry, I should have probably gave you a little bit more of the evidence. The 92% hypothermia, there was handcuffs that looked like they were on the person's, and then they were submerged underwater. And so what we found on the body was coins that were dated back between 1908 and 1912. They were dead around that date. And they also found art pencils on the person. So that was giving away the character. Jack Dawson.
Titanic.
Oh, okay.
Good job. Detective Lonnie. There was a subject who suffered a gunfire straight to the face. The blast rate not consistent with suicide. Person was not killed. Did not kill themselves. Much of the brain matter was not recovered. Average built black man.
Is it Pulp Fiction?
It is. I'm going to give... I guess I could accept yours, but he's already solved it, so...
Oh, which one was that?
That was it 1, 2, or... It was the fourth one. All right, we're going to go back through the open cases here. The first person, the first body, bludgeoning was evident. Deep fractures, seems as though they fell onto their back. Not so much blood. Looks like the blood was caught due to the dust and dirt that's around. Close database match. After further examination, the bludgeoning instrument seems to be consistent with animal feet, especially that of antelope or wild beast. Deep cuts or scratches up back of the hands. There's deep scratches on the back of the victim's hands. And it seems as though the person was, the bruising and bludgeoning seems as though it was animal feet, hooves. We do have a detective back on the case. Congratulations, Detective Lonnie.
That was a shot in the dark.
Detective Lonnie has solved it. What were your findings?
So the movie is Lion King. The deceased is Mustafa, and the killer is Scar.
Isn't Mustafa a singer? It's Mufasa.
Mufasa. Yeah. I put Mustafa.
I will. Isn't that, yeah, that's that Jewish singer, isn't it?
just trying to
He's like a Jewish rapper.
Squeeze my people in wherever I can.
All right. The next one, the person who is riddled with bullet holes or bullet, automatic weapon, at least like around 200 to.
See, I severely fucked up this game because I thought every one was more clues about the last one we just heard.
Oh, no.
So I was trying to fit everyone in Friday the 13th.
These are different case files. They're different. Yeah. Going back to against some of the evidence that we did found, the The blood states that the blood splatter states that the person was moving from the driver's vehicle out to the passenger. The person was found outside of the vehicle. There is a shoe print match consistent with the men's Santoni leather capped shoes across the face of the victim. So the person was kicked upon or around the time of death, around the face. That probably didn't give you guys much of a clue. Victim was also found wearing a nice dress suit. So it seemed as though this person he had money. He was, more made. Did you have something you wanted to submit, Detective Lonnie?
Maybe, but I think it's wrong.
Any lead can help us solve this case. There are no...
Really, I didn't want to write it because I'm going to completely spell it wrong. So I'm just going to do that.
You're closer, but think older.
How do you get older than that? Oh, okay.
We'll just share it. His source was actually Reservoir Dogs, but it's older than that. It kind of has it could possibly have a similar feel. Detective Jeremy, loss of words. You were very close.
The other one then.
Very close.
That one then.
Django Unchained? No.
I don't know.
All right.
Reservoir Dogs older than that, so I went Quentin Tarantino.
I will give a point to one of you guys.
Well, why would it be me?
It won't be you. It's older than Reservoir Dogs. That's a newer movie. It is Godfather.
I thought you meant like older, like time period, like not when it was released.
It was pretty much release date, but yeah, no. Apologies, Detective. You need to up your game here. Hopefully, the next evidence coming up will help. I will give you 1 point for that. I mean, you're shooting in the dark here, but it's still something we can go off of. The case will not be solved.
I've never actually seen Godfather.
Yes. So the person was Sonny Corleone. Sonny Corleone was killed by Barzini's men, one of the opponent gangs or families, the Barzini family. Let's move on to the next case here. The person was found, there's abrasions on like his mouth and on his wrist as though he was held down. There was a cavity in his chest. There was unknown food particles recovered from their later biopsy. We can't tell exactly what the food was.
I can take a guess.
It's suggesting that the person was eating around the time of death, and now there is a hole in the chest.
Nice. Thought that was Friday the 13th.
Didn't you think 12 of these?
I thought most of them. See, that's why I was fucked up with the game, because I thought, like, this one sounded like Friday the 13th. I got nothing.
You got nothing? Let's just say the matter that's around the chest cavity, some of it just doesn't seem like it's of this world.
Can you read it one more time for me?
The original findings were the subject showing abrasions on the wrist and jaw. Possible struggle ensued. There's an open cavity in the chest. The blood labs consistent with the medicine addiction. The victim was probably addicted to medicine. We can't necessarily tell exactly what the food was that the person was eating because it's just kind of like slop. It's just mashed together. It's just some sort of sustenance. But it suggests that the person was eating around the time of death, like the person was choking. Yep. We're going to close this one. Lonnie was close, but still no accurate evidence. Lonnie said Predator 2 is actually Aliens. Chestburster. So Gilbert Kane.
Never seen him.
You never seen Aliens? Really?
Really? You've never seen Alien?
I don't like sci-fi.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Alien is like a quintessential horror movie. It's fan-fucking-tastic.
It's sci-fi. It's space. I don't like it.
Bullshit.
Okay.
So that was Gilbert Kane in Aliens.
It takes place on a spaceship. That's the only thing that really makes it sci-fi.
That makes it space.
All right.
The idea around it. The fifth one. So the person had deep marks indicating a heavy slicing instrument such as a large knife or axe or machete, which was the primary instrument used to kill the person. It was heavy enough to pretty much slice and bludgeon. And the person was in an unorthodox position upon that movement. There was also a receipt found in the victim's pocket from Dorja Restaurant and a business card with subtle off-white coloring and a watermark. A receipt from Dorja Restaurant and a business card with subtle off-white coloring and a watermark. Detectives are hard at work.
I just got the...
Don't get discouraged, detectives. It's only up to you two for the bonus here.
I spelled literally
wrong.
every word of that wrong.
Okay.
I'll say it since he already put his in. It's American Psycho kills Jared Leto, and it's not Jason Bateman, but I think his last name's Bateman. It's
Bateman.
Yeah.
Paul Allen was the person killed, Jared Leto's character. So he solved the case. Detective Lonnie has solved the case. Who gets a reservations for Dorja almost every single week? That's hard.
It's the off-white that
subtle
clicked the bell in me.
Subtle off-white color.
I've seen that movie once.
I think,
a long-ass time ago.
I
don't remember any of it.
I really didn't like it very much, but that off-white...
I would have accepted Paul Allen or Paul Owen. The book has him as Paul Owen. But yeah, congratulations, detective. Next file. The half body here. The torso seems as though the spinal cord was compressed, crushed. It's a male subject and short tan shorts. Did you have something you were going to submit? Are you waiting the...
I'm waiting to hear the rest of it.
So saliva found around the contours of the tearing indicates subject was bitten in half. So it's of a larger animal or something. The DNA profile does not match living species, but possible strains of species thought extinct. Did you just cross out Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
As much as information as you can submit. You both...
But I'm right.
I will give you both 2 points.
2 points! I got every piece of information correct.
It was Donald Gennaro from Jurassic Park, and it was the T-Rex.
Yeah, so I was right. Why did I only get 2 points?
Wait, let me see that last one again.
Said the human.
It doesn't. I can't accept.
The human, okay.
So I put Jurassic Park, the killer was the dinosaur, and the person who got killed was the human.
You're technically correct, but we already knew it was a human.
Technicality.
Next one.
I had Jaws and Quinn written down.
I had Jaws before.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
The person was stabbed multiple times. One of the stabs missed the heart, so the person didn't die immediately. Also, there appears to be damage to the larynx post-hanging. So the person was found hanging, and their larynx was damaged as though they couldn't scream. The body emits a lingering odor of popcorn. A bloody house phone was found nearby, but not conducive to a weapon. Are you serious? You guys didn't get this one? A bloody phone nearby.
Oh.
Body emits lingering odor of popcorn.
I got it.
I will give Lonnie 1 point.
You're such sad puppy eye.
Well, I just don't know how I got 1 point.
Because you only submitted one thing of evidence. And,
well, yeah.
And Jeremy solved it. So, Detective Jeremy has solved the case.
I'm just shocked I got a point. That was such a bullshit answer.
I thought it was an easy one. Casey Becker, Drew Barrymore, and Scream, Ghostface. So, yeah.
How is she hanging?
At the very end, she was hanging out of the tree when the parents came home.
Okay. Guess it's been a long time since I've seen Scream.
When she was trying to scream for her parents, Ghostface was pulling her off. And then when the parents the mom found her hanging from the tree, and she was just hanging from like a rope or something.
It's a very, very long time since I've seen Scream,
I think a scary movie where the parents are coming home and dad's getting head from the mom and he hits his daughter.
What was that? Nothing, dear. I've probably seen Scary Movie before I've seen Scream.
All right, another one. Another stabby one. So 12 stab wounds, emphasis on seams that they were stabbed 12 times. It possibly could have been more, but at least 12. Seemed like it was a possible kitchen knife. Forensic investigator states much of the blood was drained. Due to the cleanliness of the body, the only usable evidence is a hair that was found on the subject's silk robe that was found on the toilet seat of the scene of the crime. The hair seemed to be as though it was like a wig hair. Anything, detectives? I really don't know if you guys are made out to be in this position.
Yeah.
Doggy style. You're going to have to go through. I'm going to put you guys back on the beat. You guys are going to be walking the beat. This desk is getting way too comfortable for you boys.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm not even going to take a shot at it.
Again, due to the cleanliness of the body was cleaned as though it was, and a lot of their blood was drained down the drain.
But stabbed 12 times.
At least 12 times.
At least 12 times. So the person had their bathrobe outside, and it seems as though there was like a piece of a hair that fell into the wig, or from the wig, a wig maybe.
I know the victim is not right, what I just said.
Again, my inability to spell correctly. I think this is more of a game where you just want to write down and see how terrible I spell.
I will give you solved it. You were correct, but it's not the mom.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I just thought of that after I put that.
Yeah. So it was Marion Crane, who was the blonde girl, which was his answer. So yeah, from Psycho, Norman Bateman. Or Bates, Norman Bates. That is the killer, the movie, and the victim.
So I get no points?
You get 2 points.
Oh, okay.
You get 2 points. The mom is still... actually, the mom is dead,
wrote,
isn't she?
Yeah, she's dead.
Yeah.
After I wrote that and showed it to you, I'm like, why the fuck did I write mom?
The next body, that seems like it was mangled. They had little small pockets on the face, which was chemical compounds of melatonin and histamine. And their body was burned pretty bad. So further examination appears both knees were smashed inward before a fall. So that was post the burn. The chemicals found in the welts on the face are consistent with insect venom.
Venomous face, broken knees, and burnt.
Yes. I know both of you guys should know this. You both have said this movie on the podcast at one point or another. And I think we've even talked about the person who is the victim today. Kind of. Possibly.
Guy got decapitated? Or not decapitated.
Not Richard Pananian.
Dale Earnhardt? that crash was a lot worse than I thought.
Do we for sure said this person today?
I feel like we have.
You feel... What the fuck is that?
I feel like we have said this person's name, the actor. Yeah, well, I mean, we have. Yeah, we have.
We said it.
Or at least it makes no reference to what we're finding here. Findings are as followed. Body found severely burnt. Face welts which identify small pockets of acid chemical compounds of melatonin and histamine, a mangling consistent with a fall. Further examination appears both knees were smashed inward before a fall. Chemicals found in welts on face are consistent with insect venom. Anything, Detective Jeremy?
I just took a shot in the dark.
Detective Lonnie has solved the case.
Really? Okay.
It is Edward Malice from Wicker Man, and it was the townsfolk.
Not the bees!
We were talking about John Travolta from Face Off with
Nicolas
Cage.
I've never seen Wicker Man.
It's so bad, though. You watch the original one. The original one is fan-fucking-tastic. Uh-huh. The Nicolas Cage remake is dog shit.
Last 2 cases unfinished here. Let's see if we can solve these last 2 cases. The 2 bodies that were examined, one of them seemed that it was bandaged, as though he already suffered previous trauma. Thank you. There's also porcelain in the skin. There's blood that's not either of these victims on the bodies. Like a possible fight have ensued. Both of their heads, their skulls experienced the more trauma. Alternate blood samples found on the bodies register as an anomaly. So it could match 2 profiles, but are very close in match. So the possible 2 attackers, they possibly might have been related, but these 2 guys, these victims, they were going nowhere. Oh, come on. Dude, that's the Detective Jeremy. Seems like he might have something.
It's 11.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Oh man, I really felt like that was going to be the sinker. I thought you were going to get this one. So these 2 guys, where were these guys going? They were going nowhere. Nowhere.
So far, my thought is right. They weren't going anywhere.
No, that's actually a line of the movie.
And porcelain, he beats the shit. He smashes some guy's head in with.
Oh fuck! Okay, it's that gave it away. So I'm not gonna take any points for it, but
write it down. It's unsolved. We have nothing to go with it. He submitted his. You might have something else.
Fucking wrong.
I don't know. I'm just gonna go with that. I'll probably be wrong.
I mean, you're closer, but it's the anomaly with the blood samples. Meaning, like, we can't necessarily find out if it's one person. So it seems as though it's 2 people, like they're brothers or something. 2 people who attacked these 2 bodies. Yeah, nothing. Oh, man, you went further away. All right, I will... Wait.
Oh!
I feel like you have it now.
Yeah.
Dude, like, we have a huge hint. I shouldn't say that yet, at least. Let me see an answer first.
I don't think this is right, but...
Submit as much evidence as you can.
To be more specific.
This is totally wrong, but I'm just...
As much evidence as you can. What the fuck? Oh my god.
They killed somebody, just not... Just fuck it. Tell us.
I
mean, you're
Boondock Saints 2, and it's the funny cop who dies who says it.
It is not.
It's not.
It is Boondock Saints 1, and the person who got hit with the toilet over the head from the high fall from when one of the brothers jumped off the building, smashed one of them. The other brother got up and clocked the other guy in the head. So it's the Russian mobsters. I will give you the 1 point for Boondock Saints.
Going nowhere. Fucking nowhere.
Yeah. And it was the cop who, before, what's his name, got him on scene. He's like, where was this guy going? Or where were these guys going? They were going nowhere. All right.
And the reason Boondock Saints 2 is because it has that, I just love that monologue that he does in Boondock Saints 2, where they're on the ice and giving their whole thing. It's fucking fantastic. One of my favorite monologues.
I feel like that's an underrated, it's heavily, loved, but not as in the realm. Yeah.
It's just fan service for people who like the first one.
Yeah.
I put Dumb and Dumber.
I'm like, who died in Dumb and Dumber?
The guy his ulcer and they feed him poison.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so last one. I also feel like this one should have been an easy one for both of you because this is in the realm. And Lonnie, I was trying to say the hint was in this room. From Lonnie's position when he's looking at me, he's looking right at a Boondock Saints poster.
Yeah.
In our studio here. All right, so last one. The findings were the body was decapitated. There was no other bodily damage other than minor scrapes and bruises. And there's also a stain of what seems to be coffee, or what was coffee. We can identify that on the pant leg of the deceased, the victim. We're still unable to identify the body. We have narrowed the search by now. So the name has to be in the New York police database on the employee side. Also, the fibers that were pulled from the neck wound identify as splinters of wood. So he's decapitated by something that was like a wood.
And works for the city of New York.
Yes. Oh my God.
Did you get it?
Yeah. And by yeah, I mean no. He said cats. The answer, your guys' beat cops who scoped the area have solved this case. They're going to get your bonus here. The answer is Thomas Burke, who was a highway patrolman who was downgraded to an actual police officer after some digging into some stuff from some previous franchises. This was Final Destination, a log that fell off a truck, went through. This one kind of doesn't count because he didn't actually die that way. This was a dream or memory or something.
The premonition.
Yeah. I believe this was the second one.
This is the second or third one.
Actually,
is not the.
I think it is the second one because he did kind of make a comeback in after he died. I think it was just in memory states. Yeah. So I'm going to tally up some stuff.
And no, I didn't win.
Tally.
Like Jeremy's response to Lonnie's last game. Like, why are you fucking adding it up? He got 1 point. All right. Detective Lonnie and Detective Jeremy. Thank you guys for your cooperation, your participation. You guys did an excellent job, although it seems as though Lonnie is going to be receiving the hypothetical bonus. It is all yours. You can receive it after you give back all the copy paper that you have been stealing from the office. It is not anal. You've won with 20 points, and Detective Jeremy won with 10 points. You both are winners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeremy got silver.
That's what happens when you don't get to watch movies that often anymore.
This is bullshit. No excuse. These are all old movies.
It's not the fact that you don't watch enough movies. It's the fact that I watch too many.
That's what I'm getting at. I don't get to sit and watch movies all the time like apparently everybody gets to. People are like, oh yeah, I binge watched 8 seasons in 1 hour. Oh, okay. Takes me an hour to watch one episode.
I'm giving you an out. Don't turn into a dick about it.
Oh, I'm not being a dick to you about it. I just don't get how all these people watch all these things. Like, where do they find the time? I don't get it.
Between the hours of awake and asleep.
Yeah, I guess. Apparently, nobody works and does stuff outside of work.
See, then you're being a dick again.
Do you have the capacity to watch things in sections? Like, can you watch this?
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I hate splitting up movies too.
That would be the worst. Like this thing. So Michael and I'll cut this short but Michael, our producer, got me hooked on the show Animal Kingdom, and we watch like 2 or 3 episodes every Monday night, and they're each like almost like an hour long. and it sucks because it's so good. And we're on episode.
I feel like it's not.
We're on season 1.
I feel like you're lying.
Episode 6, and there's 4 seasons, and I think we tallied up. There's like 60 episodes yet to watch. That's going to take forever. And he said, he's like, you can't watch it when you're not with me because he wants us to watch it together. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
You guys are a cute couple.
Old married couple. It's so cute.
That's
then you just watch it and like, I didn't watch it. And then you don't get excited about the reveals later when you watch it together.
Shit, like you're like, oh, did you see the badgers? They're so cute.
It's such a good show, though. And but somebody told me that I should watch the show Prison Break and White Collar, but they said Prison Break would be the better one.
What are you currently watching, Lonnie?
So I just got HBO Max because I wanted to see Mortal Kombat and not be around people.
Did you say Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
What did you think of that movie?
I actually liked it. Like, I expected it to be more cheesy and campy, but it wasn't.
That's what I liked about the first, well, at least the first one. The second one was but I still liked it because it fell into the same realm.
Right.
It had the same, like, Robin Chow and all the other, and Talisa Sotoy. That's my childhood crush.
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of hate with Mortal Kombat, the new one that just came
yeah.
out, but the only bad thing I have to say about it is a lot of the acting was terrible.
Some of the acting was really subpar.
But the fight choreography is great, and the gore in it is fantastic.
And it was a beautiful movie. Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
It was a beautiful movie.
And I'm surprised I haven't seen it, and you both have.
Yeah.
But it's like, for a fighting movie, I hear that it should have had more fighting in it.
Yeah, it was a lot of character development because I can see this becoming a franchise.
Oh yeah, they're definitely on their way.
The second one is going to be full of fight. Like I think it's going to be from opening scene to end scene fight.
But I dug it. I thought it was good. I didn't really care much for them making a character for the movie with it being such a heavy franchise.
You have so many people to pull from, yeah.
Right. I understand why they did it, but I really wasn't a fan, but they did it. But getting HBO Max, I started going through it and finding all these cool movies I haven't seen for a long time and movies I've wanted to see. Like, I finally got to see New Mutants, which that was great. If you like superhero movies and you also like horror movies, it's like that great mixture of both of them. I got to watch the original 1974 Amityville Horror. I haven't seen that in such a long time. Just other great stuff like that I've put in my queue to watch. I haven't got to watch it predominantly because I got on a Steve Wilco, I think is his name, a trash.
Steve Wilco,
the
host,
host,
the TV
yeah.
that used to be Jerry
Springer's bodyguard.
Yeah, so I've been on such a kick like for the last couple of days of watching his lie detector tests. Like it's became like my life.
You find those rabbit holes pretty cozy, don't you?
Oh, you have no fucking idea. Like, you should see my YouTube history. Like, it gets bad. And speaking of that, the rabbit hole YouTubes, this is episode 24. Episode 25, the three of us and a fourth member yet to be revealed.
We're probably gonna have to kidnap somebody.
Do you have somebody?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying we don't know who it is, so we can't say who it is.
Thank you, Stacy, for volunteering.
We are gonna, for our 25th episode anniversary, we're going fucking ghost hunting, boys.
We're gonna ghost hunt boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Justin's already got a
with our wingdings out.
You can hold them underwater?
No, but we're gonna go ghost hunting to the famous Potawatomi County Squirrel Cage Jail here. Go spend a couple hours locked in there and
4 hours.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
4 hours.
8 p.m. to midnight.
Yeah.
That gets in the way of my cartoons, though.
Well, then you're straight fucked.
Oh,
it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be
some of my cartoons.
We need to get an interesting fourth person to go with us.
Yeah.
Paco.
He won't make it. He's going to be gone that day.
He just screams, "La cucaracha," and run off.
My name is Paco.
What the fuck?
Runs off. But yeah, we're doing that. We're going to have a video episode for you guys. Probably also have something little. I'm sure
We'll also do an in-studio thing because they'll be at different times. So you might get double the pleasure that day.
Double the fun.
Because the next time we're in studio for this podcast, we're going to have John Marshall as our guest.
Hey.
Again? Oh, for
this, not our movie one.
Okay, gotcha.
Remember we said we wanted to have him back and talk? Well,
I don't pay attention to this stuff.
I know you don't.
You guys don't blast out.
You're too busy reading your notes.
Oh, I blast out.
I can like when
I'm
it comes
still
to like
young and vital.
consuming movies. I guess I can like watch something for a little bit and then I have to maybe rewind it 5 to 10 minutes just to get back into the feel of it and then continue it again. So I have no issue with that, and that's how I consume a lot of my stuff.
I hate even in the middle of like a season stopping and like watching full episodes and knowing that it's so good. Like that annoys me. I can't imagine being in the middle of an episode and then having to stop it and then not knowing when I'm going to be able to watch it again because I can't be consistent with when I watch things.
That's like
my schedule is so busy. I keep myself busy doing things.
It's like a telefilm phobia. Like you can't finish a television or TV movie.
I can finish an episode.
Media.
I just can't. I can't be like, okay, every Tuesday I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch this from this time to this. I can't do that.
But you remember when TV used to be like that when we were growing up? It's like you get 30 minutes and then you have to wait a week.
Yeah.
To get the next.
And then
30
sometimes
minutes.
you get home late and you have to start it like 10 minutes in. You're like, fuck, I don't even know what happened. Whatever. I'm gonna enjoy it.
But at the same time, I kind of like that because it's just by giving everybody everything right now to binge watch the whole season, you're not creating a sense of urgency. Is that what I'm
like? Suspense.
Importance. Yeah.
Like cliffhangers. That was the thing. Every week it left you with a cliffhanger. Like, oh, what's going to, and like, yeah, that sucks. But at the same time, just being able to like 5 seconds after that cliffhanger up next episode.
As much as I love when they drop the entire season, it's like you do get that entitlement. Like, oh, here, it's here. I'm going to watch the next one. Finished it. It's like, where's the whole thing now?
Yeah. I mean, like Cobra Kai, I'm glad they dropped it all and I watched season 3, but it was like, I watched it the first day. That's the only show I've really binge watched. I watched it on New Year's Day, all 10 episodes. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, I got to wait 1 year now,
right?
2022.
If not more, yeah.
Well, actually, they wrapped up filming Cobra Kai season 4
Did they?
last week, and they said that it'll be released before 2022.
Nice.
So
I'm a fan.
But at the same time, it's like I wish that they would just kind of release them once a week because then it makes that go by a little quicker once the ending happens.
But the Netflix model, they just don't do it like that. They're like, here it is. Get hooked.
I mean, I like it, and it's inspired me. I've always wanted to do a web series, write and direct a web series, and I'm kind of developing one to like work on here. And obviously we're going to shoot a few short films before that, but I want to do a 6-episode season of something, each episode 25 to 35 minutes long, and see how that goes. Because it's like if you can leave people wanting more, it'd be fun to do.
Just like my sex life.
But I wouldn't release all of them. I wouldn't release all of them like every day. I would release once every week, every 2 weeks or something.
Come back to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of movies, we've already put out the movie that we're going to be reviewing. Lonnie, what are we reviewing next week?
Next week. Oh, for the other podcast.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Learn us.
Well, for the BPT movie podcast, we're going to be covering the 1986 classic, my favorite movie of all time, Stand By Me.
Wasn't that good?
And we already know Lonnie's going to give it a 10.
Yeah, well,
because that's what we do here.
It's my favorite movie. I didn't even want to bring it to the podcast because I know you fuckers aren't going to like it and we're going to fight. Yeah, Stand By Me, my favorite movie of all time, directed by Rob Reiner. Amazing cast. We're going to dive into it. So that comes out next Monday.
Next week. Every Monday.
You listen to this, then you listen to that the next Monday.
The 17th.
The 17th. I don't like dates.
That's why I just say next week.
Next week. Jeremy.
This is next week.
Dates don't like me.
Listen to this one, and then the next Monday, listen to that one, and then the week after that, listen to this one again.
You just can't get enough of us.
Boom.
You're your Monday Aphrodite, baby. Thank you, everyone.
That's a piss poor way to start the week off.
Hey.
That's how we do it.
Hey, Justin.
Just ease it in.
Send us out, baby.
Do what I can. I'll wrap my... I stumble.
Eat it.
shit.
There it is. No, thank you guys for listening to episode 24 in the books. We're almost at to 500 downloads. We should get to 1,000 here real soon.
Oh, let's hope so.
Make you sick that like Joe Rogan gets like 1 million a week.
Yeah, and he's like, it's just, he doesn't pay attention to anything. He's like, I don't check the comments. I don't check the reviews.
We love you. Send us
it.
actual messages so we don't have to listen to Justin's stupid ones.
We might have some questions coming up, some little giveaways, get some little interactions. We got a few giveaways for our number one listener, Miss Stacy.
Oh yeah.
We got a bumper sticker
right here.
and some other little something.
Bumper sticker, a life cast of Jeremy's dick.
Shut the fuck up. God damn.
I don't
That's
think
gross.
I don't think Stacy's gonna get a life.
Just
cast.
end the shit right now.
Yeah. Well, tune in next week for the movie review. It's gonna be adequate.
Suck my dick.
Anything, boys?
Eat it.
All right. Arrivederci. Ashe.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Join us next time for more absurdity that only the guys from the Boundless Pod Trap can bring you.